All right, there we go. I think that sounds right. Okay, so here we are, back again. We are doing the thing. We're back. It's post E3 season, and we have so much fucking to do. I don't know. I have a lot of things on my list. Playing catch up with shit from last week. Stuff I forgot. Ah, fuck. Whatever, I don't think it matters. Yeah, it'll be fine in the end. So yeah, we got a lot. We got news. We got a lot of food shit because I didn't talk about any of the food shit last week. So I got last week in this week's food shit. I got some video game. I got some TV. We got a lot. We got a lot. I still kind of want to go under like right around like 2 hours. That's still kind of the goal. Plus, we also have to get caught up on Marble League because we're like 4 events behind. But we'll fucking see. You know, it's one of those things where if you have it my way, I'll get it all done. But rarely does that ever happen. Where? Oh, there it is. All right, let me pull this up and let me hit this. So one of the things we do have to do, because we didn't do it last week, was Pocket TCG. The new set's actually probably been out for like 2 weeks now. It's been out for a while, and we just kind of haven't done anything with it because, you know, it's Summer Games Fest E3 season. We've just kind of been busy, but we're doing it today. Currently with the set, I'm only missing 7 cards. I've had a really good run over the past 2 weeks. Cards I know I'm missing for sure. I know I'm missing a Salamence, and I know I'm missing Fluttermane. So those are like 2 of the cards. If we can get my remaining missing 7, that would be really nice. But yeah, other than that, I have had a really good go with this set. And hopefully, you know, that continues, but we'll see. Oh, I should probably give us some audio. Okay, we got Sparkles at like pack 6. So, we'll see. An Iron Bundle. I think this is like my 3rd or 4th one of those. Iron Bundle is the common one. I think I've got like 2 Koraidons. Oh, Terapagos. I actually have very little connection to Terapagos. Admittedly, I'm not watching the current season of the anime, but the fact that it has like this form, and then it's got like a little baby form, and then it's got like a bigger form, I'm kind of sick of Pokemon having so many forms. I wish they had less forms, and Terapagos is one of those ones that I think is hurt by having so many different forms. Like, it's just unnecessary. I know part of it is that they're nerfing certain Pokemon by forcing them to, you know, hold that item to get their alternate form, to make them stronger. I get that, but it still kind of, you know, sucks. Nacli, Masquerain, Glamora, Insliver. Oh, those are 2 more I needed. Again, I'm not missing much. Have we gotten like 3 Altarias? And nothing in that last pack. We got at least 1 card with 10. I saw the gold frame pop up there. Yeah, Rufflet right there has 11. God. Still desperately need Fluttermane though. Grass types completed. Water types completed. Fighting type completed. Missing one dark type. That's about it. Area 0 ecology. Over 1,000 pounds. Resembles Volcarona. Alright, let's do another 10. I saw nothing. Doesn't mean there is nothing. I just didn't see it. Iron Hands. Another Altaria. God, we're getting nothing. Oh wow, another Doug trio. Not the Diglett, only the Doug trio. Alright, final pack magic. Nothing. We really got nothing. Not a single EX in all of those packs. Wow, that sucks. Well, I tried. I know I got some things finished over in the missions. Yeah, this one. The Maridon one. The Coridon one. And that's it. See, we're missing the Fluttermane. And we're missing like a few other single cards. When I'm working on it, let's see if there's anything in the Wonder Pick. Nothing, nothing. Nothing. Oops, I hit battle. Okay, Pulsing Aura is a different set. There's a Coridon, but I don't need that. Yeah, okay, so I don't see anything. Ooh. I don't see anything. Nothing good there. What's this? Did someone like okay, it's just a friend request thing. Okay. That's fine. So yeah, that's Pocket TCG. You know, nothing that major there, but hey, I had to open it, I had to see. It's been a while. How do I... God, it's been so long since we've done this. There we go, disconnect. Okay, cool. So for the show today, my goal is still Shovel Knight. I was kind of, you know, like, oh, what campaign do I want to do, you know? Do we want to do Plague of Shadows next? Do we want to do Spectre Torment? Because I think Spectre Torment's going to be quicker than Plague of Shadows. But they're both probably going to take around 3 hours. So, I mean, we can do... fuck. I guess let's just fucking do Plague of Shadows. So let me boot up the Switch real quick. For gaming news this week, we've got a few things. We've got Xbox. We got 2 Xbox stories. One is the Direct, but then we also got to talk about Asha Sharma and Matt Booty's Memo. And then we have the Nintendo Direct. That's the big thing. So it's, we're still in the fallout from Summer Games Fest. So yeah. Here we go. Shovel Knight. And then if I hit that. Wait, what? I have audio. Why do I not have... There we go. Okay. That was weird. Because it was coming in on my screen. That was weird. God, then again, everything broke. That's what, I don't know why OBS does that, where sometimes you just turn it on and just everything's broken. Like it forgets all your audios, it forgets all your preferences. That's interesting. Is that coconut or pine? I've got a pineapple coconut drink from Sonic Burger. It's like a tropical slush or something. That's interesting. So if you've never played Plague of Shadows, this is a paralogue to Shovel Knight. So it is a story that's taking place at the exact same time as Shovel Knight, just from a different character's point of view. The levels are mostly the same. It's implied that basically... you're running through the levels either right before or right after Shovel Knight does. Usually, I think it's supposed to be that you're running through them right before he does. But yeah, no, this is a good game. Of the 4 campaigns, I would normally say Plague of Shadows is my favorite. What I like about Plague of Shadows is the controls, the movement. Because whereas Shovel Knight, you've got your jump and your shovel bounce. You have a double jump, but it's built around this bomb burst mechanic. Which I find the bomb burst mechanic really fun to play. The problem is, it's very difficult. Like, it's one of those things, learning the bomb burst in Plague of Shadows takes a lot of time. It's got a very high learning curve, but if you make it through that learning curve, I think it's some of the best gameplay of the 4 campaigns. The levels are, basically just reused from Shovel Knight, but which is different than all the other campaigns, as we'll eventually get to. But I do like how this all works. My worry is that I'm rusty. It's been a long time since I've played Plague of Shadows, and so I worry that I'm not up to snuff, that I don't know, we'll see. We'll see, because I feel like of the 4 campaigns, this is the one where being rusty kind of hurts you the most. Each level has these coins. In my perfect world, I would get all the coins. I'm not really like unlike other games where, if I don't get them, I'll just go back for it. We're not going to go back and get all the coins. If, for some reason I miss one or, something happens, whatever. We'll move on. Because you technically don't... Well, you do need all the coins for 100% completion. There's more than necessary amount of coins to unlock every item. Except for the final one. But, weirdly enough, you can actually only get the final item after you beat the game. Because there are coins in the final level. And I think all the campaigns do that, which is always very weird. There's also music notes, like Shovel Knight. None of the other 2 campaigns have music notes, only the first 2. But yeah, so we got Xbox, and then we got Nintendo. God, we'll see. We'll fucking see how long. Knowing me, we'll be here for the next 4 hours. Plus another hour for the Marble League. Fuck. Oh my god. So I should probably just get started. So the Xbox Gaming Showcase was basically a week from today. And overall, I really enjoyed it. I do think it was the best showcase. Announcement-wise, I think all the announcements were really good. You know, everyone's still scared of GTA. That's still very obvious. You know, nothing has really changed on that front. But outside of that, I feel like Xbox had a lot of good announcements. They had a fun showcase. I think Xbox did a really good job. And yeah, I know I said after the Nintendo Direct that I would give Xbox Showcase, you know, best showcase. I still think I stand by that. Because the thing with Nintendo, and we'll talk about it, is that if you look at, Blessing Adeoye Jr. pointed this out, that if you look at the announcements in the Nintendo show was great. The problem with the Nintendo show was not the announcements. It was the presentation. And I can agree with that. And Xbox, meanwhile, it doesn't have as big of an announcement as, you know, Ocarina Remake or Kingdom Hearts 3. But it does still have some big announcements. And their presentation was just better. They were better at showmanship. You know, they didn't do an hour of thumb wrestling. Well, okay, they kind of did a whole Gears of War thing, but that was a separate thing that if you didn't want to watch that, you didn't have to. I did, but technically you didn't have to. Well, there's our first death. So, the show started off with Gears of War E-Day. It also ends with Gears of War E-Day. So, the big confirmation here is that this is a console exclusive. Now, originally, when this came out, that it was console exclusive, the rumors were that this whole console exclusivity thing was decided very last minute. Like, that they only decided to make this a console exclusive very recently, and in fact, there is a mostly completed version of this game out there somewheres for PlayStation. Which, you know what? I fully believe all of that. I know, god damn it, why can oh god, we're in for a terrible time. If this is how I'm dealing with the first dragon, oh, we're so fucked. Okay, I think it's the second dragon, but still. So, I know, I want to say when someone tweeted out, it was maybe Jason Schreier, maybe, I don't think it was Nate the Hate, but it was somebody that, like, hey, Gears of War only became console exclusive very recently. I want to say Matt Booty responded and was like, this was not a recent decision. You know, this was only known by a select few people until recently. And then when asked how long ago did they make the decision, he was like, 30 days ago. That's still relatively recent. Like, yeah, it's not yesterday, but 30 days ago is still pretty fucking recent. So yes, I would argue that this was a recent decision, and that, yeah, with the game coming out in October, actually, never mind. With the game coming out in October, and the game will probably go gold in September, I do think that, yes, that rumor that there is a mostly complete PS5 version, I do believe is, yeah, 100% real. Now, actually seeing the game, it looks good. From listening to people who got to preview it, it does seem like, yes, the game is good. Because this takes place on E-Day, you know, the day in which they emerged and laid waste to the city. And whereas every other Gears of War game is, you know, you going through the ruins of civilization, this game is all about, you know, civilization getting destroyed. And I guess the game takes place over like 2 days, and during those 2 days you'll see the city just get completely ransacked. And yeah, that sounds interesting. Like, from like just a world perspective. You know, like, let's say you start off, you know, on the street and you see the train crash. And then maybe later on in the game you come back to that same area, and now where else all these buildings stood, it's just now rubble. You know, but you can still see evidence of like, oh yeah, this is where the train crashed. at the beginning of the game. That's interesting. I have seen some people point out, like, at one point they say in at the end of the day, because I'm just going to talk about it all now, that, the eyebrow on, not Garrett, whatever our big burly muscle dads are, one single eyebrow of his has more complexity than the entire first Gears of War game, which, yes, I do fully believe that, but also, at the same time, no wonder games take fucking so long, because this game was announced over a year ago. You know, we've known about this for a while. This is our first real look at it. Because, yeah, no wonder games take so long. I understand. I remember the Horizon developer coming out at one point and being that, while yes, players never asked for hyper-realistic graphics, even though that's technically not true, that sometimes developers kind of want to prove to themselves that they can do it. That they can do these ultra-realistic graphics in this style. You know, they have goals, they have intentions. And yeah, I do think it's a two-way street, and that yes, some people, the gun and ball gamers, that's what they care about. Even though they'll never play a game with a woman. At the end of the day, they claim to want, you know, the Call of Duty 16 times the detail. When, like, that's... because Call of Duty is, you know, a factory that has destroyed studios in its wake. But, you know, I think Gears of War looks fine. I've never played a Gears of War. See, look, there's our shovelly boy. I've never played Gears of War. I was more of a Halo guy, and even then, I only played, like, the first 3 in Reach. I was not, like, too big of a Halo guy. Oh my god. It's been loud today. I don't know why that talking's loud. But yeah, no, I think everything with Gears of War looks fine. They did, however, even though it is console exclusive, they did confirm that it will be coming to Steam. We found out that later on after the show that yes, it will be on Steam as well. So while yes, they are saying console exclusive, that just means it's not coming to Switch or PS5. It is still coming to Steam. You know, at the end of the day, Microsoft still owns Windows. So obviously they're going to put their games on Windows. Mac can go fuck themselves. Next up, they showed off Fable. This is still coming to PS5. Honestly, this is another one that I figured would have gone exclusive. That would not have surprised me at all if they were also making Fable exclusive. But nope, they're sticking to PS5. I know one of the big things before the show that we had talked about was if, you know, they weren't going to show PS5 logos at the showcase. Because, you know, Xbox or Nintendo doesn't show other companies things at their showcase. PlayStation doesn't show other companies things at their showcase. Xbox and Summer Games Fest obviously does, but they're a general show. You would think Xbox would be the same way, but no. Even though Asha Sharma kind of made a point that they weren't going to do that, nope, they still did it anyways. I think it's fine. But yeah, Fable looks really good. We get to see a look at the villain, who's played by Hayley Atwell. You know, Peggy Carter. She's good. You know, I like her. I know people are sick of Peggy Carter and call her an industry plant. But outside of that, I do think Hayley Atwell is pretty good. I liked her in Mission Impossible. I'm sure there's other stuff that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. But yeah. It all looks good from Fable. We did get a whole 30-minute, like, showcase of the game where we got to see, like, this one town, and they talked more about, like, how the game, oh, well, you can buy every house in the game and make all the NPCs homeless. And when we told the, you know, I can't remember if it was, like, the artist or so, like, they told somebody about that, like, the writers. And then the other department was like, wait, does that mean we have to double the size of the town? And it was basically like, yes, you do. Programmers, I guess? Yeah, let's go with programmers. World designers, maybe? I don't know what's the phrase I'm looking for. But yeah, and we got to see this whole thing with, I guess, it's not Penelope the Pig. Penelope the Pig is from Dungeon Crawler Carl. But there's this whole thing with a pig where you have to do a mission where you either get to save or kill the pig. And depending on that, you know, it determines how the town feels about you. Because, yeah, there's a whole mechanics in that game where it's like, you know, not everybody is going... You know, they're not doing like a traditional morality system where through your actions, everybody will like you. No, some people will just like you, just dislike you because you're like rich, for example. Or some rich people will hate you because you're poor. You know, they're putting these whole systems into the game. And it seems really interesting. Here's the thing. I do not like the Peter Molyneux Fables. Outside of the big twist in Fable 3, I do not give a shit about the Fable games. Also, I do have to give them credit for having gay marriage in their game way back in like 2004. Yeah, even that early, you were able to get have same-sex marriages in Fable, in the original Fable, which is kind of it's not impressive, but you know, for the time period, that's actually kind of surprising. Fable has always been woke, and this new game is the wokiest one yet, which they should wear as a badge of honor, as they seemingly are. But yeah, everything from Fable looks great. It did get delayed until next year, because clearly this was going to be the November game. This was the game that was going to come out in November, but because everyone's scared of GTA, they've decided to push it off towards next year. And there's already been at least, games are now like so filled in September that we're also now getting delays from September. So yeah, things have already started working with how many, you know, delays are happening and, you know, how scared people are of GTA, which I don't blame them. I kind of wish some things were more, you know, brave, right? Because right now it's literally just, you know, a metaphor port. The Godzilla 2002 game is getting a remake. The Barbie Rewind Collection. We don't even know if Zelda's coming out in November. It probably is, but the fact that they didn't confirm it is a little worrisome. Next up, they showed off Halo Campaign Evolved. So this is, of course, the remake of the original Halo game. They're adding some new missions and whatnot. Now, the title of this episode is People Hate Remakes. Now, you may think, oh, I'm talking about Ocarina. No, I'm actually not talking about Ocarina. Not entirely, anyways. I'm also talking about Halo. Because guess what? For once, people aren't exclusively mad at Nintendo. No, people are also mad at Halo. If you're not in, you know, I'm in Nintendo spaces, so I see people mad at Nintendo. But yeah, I'm also in Halo spaces, so I know for a fact that yes, people are mad at this Halo remaster. The two big things I've seen is there are people who are mad that there's a sprint button. That in the original Halo game, there wasn't a sprint, but basically every modern game has some sort of sprint functionality. So in making the game, the developers decided that no, it would make more sense if we had a sprint. Let's add a sprint to the game. And so that's what they did. And the Halo purist chuds are mad about that. They changed the size of the assault rifle. It now has a smaller mag, I think. I can't remember if it's smaller or bigger. I just know they changed the mag of the assault rifle, and Halo purists are mad about that. They're mad about some of the textures. Yeah, people are fucking pissed at this Halo remaster. And when I say people, I mean the chuds. You know? And the biggest thing that people are mad about is the accessibility settings in the skulls. So if you've never played a Halo game, they have these modifiers called skulls. And how they work is that you can equip the skulls, and it makes, you know, oh, you have to play the entirety of the game in third person. Oh, you can only do this, you can only do that. You know, it sets it to the highest difficulty. It makes it a one-shot kill. You know, it's not entirely accessibility options, but it's difficulty modifiers. And they're entirely optional. You know, you do not have to play with any skulls. But there is a thing called Lasso, which is legendary all skulls on, which is basically the hardest any Halo game can be. And so as part of this new one, they're making, you know, like the sprint thing. The sprint thing by default is turned on, but there is a skull that turns it off. And people are mad about that. And there are some people who think that no, these skulls should not be an optional thing, that these skulls shouldn't exist, and you know, they should, or if anything, it should be the opposite, that sprinting is off by default, but you should be able to turn a skull to turn it on. There are some gamers out there, the gaming chuds, who fucking hate options in games. Option chuds, as I'm going to call them. And there are people, they hate options, whether that be, you know, simple things like, does Dark Souls have difficulty modes? They hate accessibility. You know, the idea that other people can play the game they like, but have to turn on different settings. They fucking hate that. They hate the idea of accessibility, which is why I call them chuds. And then finally, they hate, being able to like modify the game in any meaningful way, because they feel like the game by default should have a pre-described difficulty, and any change to that, even though it is entirely optional, goes against their core belief, because even though they get to choose how they play the game, they worry that they might cheat, that they might use one of these skulls that makes the game easier. And that might, you know, cause them to, like, freak out. And, like, they'll ruin their gameplay experience. Or other people are ruining the gameplay experience. Or, like, Mina the Hollower, where they're like, oh, why should we, the player, have to design our own difficulty? The game should just have a difficulty made for us. It already does. The default is the pre-made difficulty. But you can change the game however you want. But these option chuds hate that. Just the idea that someone can play a game differently than them. Fucking, it just fills them with so much hate. They're a segment of the gaming population that does not get enough hate. Option chuds are fucking awful. And they should get way more shit than they actually do. But they don't. I mean, they definitely do get some shit, but they don't get nearly as much as they should. Fucking option chuds, man. So yeah, but I think Halo Campaign Evolved looks fine. Comes out July 28th, so it's the end of next month. You know, it's not too far away at all. Ooh. Next up is Resonance, a Plague Tale story. We got to see some more about this one. I'm not a big Plague Tale fan. I heard kind of like Senua Saga. I heard the first one was good, but the second one wasn't it, and now this is the third one. I mean, they could still be good, but I've never played them. And I'm not really, like, interested in playing it anytime soon. A game I am potentially interested in is Persona. So Persona 4 Revival, it got its big, you know, re-reveal, as well as a release date. Hey, guess what? Here's another game that was scared of GTA. So it's coming out in February. At least I assume it was scared of GTA. I mean, it could have always been coming out in February. But it kind of feels like anything that's being pushed to February is a GTA thing. But yeah, it's Persona 4. I know people really like Persona 4. I don't think it's the Persona game I know the most about. It's definitely the one I've seen the most videos on, but that's because I don't really watch stuff on P5. Even though I probably know more about P5. I don't know. It's one of those things that it's like one day I'll play the Persona games. I know I would probably like them. I just need to actually play them. And Persona 5 has been in my backlog for fucking years now. Literally since the PS4 era. Persona 5 has been in my backlog. And then they announced Persona 5R, and then it came to Switch, and... oh my gosh. Next up, they showed off State of Decay 3. It's still State of Decay. We didn't really... this is more... I don't want to say cinematic of a trailer, but it was, you know, less gameplay. It's not until next year, and I still think it's a ways away. We're not getting State of Decay 3 anytime soon. But it'll happen eventually. Next up is Sea of Thieves. So they have their new Custom Seas update. New ways to play, new modes. They've completely redone the camera tools, as well as it looks like you'll be able to create like a place to hang out with your friends. Yeah, you know, again, customization is important, and I know I would like Sea of Thieves if I played it. The problem is I just don't have any friends to play it with. But everything I've seen about Sea of Thieves looks good, it looks fun, and hey, more customization, more options, it's never really a bad thing. After that, they showed off Metro 2039. It also is coming out in February of next year. I know the last Metroid game, I think it was 2033, was also very good. So a new one, that's cool. I've never played one of the Metro games. Next up, they showed off Bad Magpie. I do not remember the developer, but this game reminds me of Untitled Goose Game. You're basically playing as a magpie going through this world. It looks like there's some sort of like I don't want to say aliens, but it looks like a meteorite has fallen from the sky. So there's probably more of a story to it than just, hey, here's Untitled Goose Game 2. But still, the idea of basically just Untitled Goose Game again, but this time you're playing as a magpie. That sounds fun. I mean, that's kind of, like, in some ways, that's what Little Kitty Big City was. It was literally just like, hey, you're a cat in a city, go cause some chaos, you know, do some cat things. And I like those style of games, where it's just like, hey, you're a creature, go cause some creature chaos. Not in like a, you know, everything's on fire, kill everybody sort of way, but in a way that's just kind of annoying. That's fun. At least I think it is. So Bad Magpie is definitely on my radar. Next up is Wulong 2, Wings of Ember. It's coming out early next year. You know, it's another Wulong game. People liked the first one, so I definitely feel like Wulong kind of got overshadowed by a lot of other things. You know, fucking Black Myth. But it's still cool that, you know, it's happening. After that, we have Join Us. So this is that game that it's basically Schedule 1 mixed with like something like Goat Simulator, where it seems like, you know, Schedule 1 is all about drug running. Join Us is all about running a cult. So you're a cult leader and you're running a cult, and there's these weird janky physics, and you're going on hallucination trips as you're with the leader. And yeah, you know, it's one of those games that I could see being fun. You know, like Schedule 1, like that one road trip game that you're like aliens, but you're running a gas station. Yeah, I could see this being fun. Is it exactly for me? Not really. I mean, I've played both the games mentioned, and they're both fine. So maybe I'd get into it. But yeah, this is one of those weird games. But hey, you know, it's Xbox. Next up, they showed off Senua. Again, as far as I'm aware, the last Senua was not too well liked. The first one is beloved. Like, people loved the first Senua game. But the second one just didn't really do it for people. Every week, I'm like, oh, I should grab out the amiibos, and then I never do. But yeah, the new Senua, it looks fine. I think visually it still looks really good. I'd like to hope this one is more of like an asset flip. Ah, fuck. I'm trying to check coins. I know there's a way to check how many coins you got in the level. Okay, we did get all 30. I just want to make sure, you know. I know we're not trying to get every coin, but I just want to make sure that we are. What button? I know there's a button that shows it to us on the menu screen. I just don't know which one. Whatever. But yeah, I kind of do hope this new Senua is more of like an asset flip, because, you know, asset flips get a bad rap nowadays, but asset flips can be great. I mean, that's how we get Majora's Mask, for Christ's sake. And you know what? And with this new Zelda game, if they're remaking Ocarina, fucking asset flip that shit. turn around and make Majora again using all the assets you made for Ocarina. You've already done like half the work. Technically, probably more than half of that because you still have the original code somewheres for Majora. Fuck it, just do that. We'll talk about it later. I don't know how I did not die there. But no, a new Senua, okay, I hope it's better than the second one. Because yeah, it just seems like people did not like the second one. Next up, they talked about Fallout 76. Okay, that's how we do it, by pressing B. That was the one button I didn't try. Fallout 76, it has a new infestation mode, which, I think that was like a, it was either a horde mode, or it's an extraction mode. They're doing one of those two, things that are popular right now. So that's a big new thing that's coming, or it might have already come out. And then as well, they're doing a rewards week, which if you're already watching this, the rewards week literally ends tomorrow. So, because this Xbox thing happened a week ago. So the rewards week is almost over. But hey, it happened. Again, one day I'll play Fallout 76 and actually like play it. Like we've checked it out before, but like one day I'll actually give it like a proper play. Next up, we have Doom: The Dark Ages. It's getting a new DLC called Revelations, which is like the second or third time. Revelations shows up a lot this E3. I think this is the second time it shows up, and then it'll show up again later on in the Nintendo thing, I think. Or maybe this is the third time and it was at both the Sony and the Summer Games Fest. Either way, we've been seeing a lot of Revelations. This new DLC, it looks like hell's frozen over. So you gotta go in there and clean that out. It looks good. You know, it's still Doom: The Dark Ages. That's still a very good game. I have not played it myself. I've only played the first two, but I've heard good things about it. It looks like it's a lot of fun. And yeah, and that DLC comes out July 7th. So in like three or 4 weeks. Next up is Crazy Taxi World. So, at first, this trailer looks very exciting. You know, you've got Offspring's All I Want, big showcase, you know. They're both doing like classic arcade shit that people want, but they're also doing new stuff as well. It looks like there's going to be some sort of campaign mode where, you know, you're trying to like trying to get your phone back or something like that. It's kind of dumb, but it's what you'd want from like a Crazy Taxi thing. Overall, I think Crazy Taxi looks good. It sucks it's coming out next year, but I think it looks fine. The problem is, as we found out later on the Steam description, because on Steam, you are required to disclose... Ah, fuck. I always die in this room. Ah, whatever. So on Steam, they did disclose that they did use AI in the development of this game. That fucking sucks. And I know, and I want to say the developers did say, because people asked them about it when they did previews, and the developers said that, oh, well, we were only using them for, you know, placeholder assets, and by the time the game ships, every image in the game will be made by a real human. Which I hope is true. That has historically not been the case, because typically there's at least one that's supposed to be a placeholder asset that gets left in the game. It happens more, you know, there's a reason why old placeholder assets were those like magenta and black cubes, because it made it really easy to tell that this was a placeholder asset. Whereas nowadays, placeholder assets are just made by AI, so it's really easy to overlook something that, you know, if it was a black cube, you would of course notice it, you know, black and purple cube. But now, when it's a fucking AI, you have to look over it with a little bit more attention. And sometimes studios just don't want to do that, or some people, you know, some people, boomers, don't have an eye for this sort of thing. And so as a result, they just think like, oh, well, that's probably a real thing, you know? We've probably replaced all the AI assets. So that still fucking sucks. At the end of the day, I do not support AI. I do not support these data centers that are being put up everywhere. These data centers should be outlawed. That's same thing with the flock cameras. Oh my god. I was driving the other day and I was like, oh, there's a flock camera, there's a flock camera. Yep, there's a flock camera. They're fucking everywhere. How these flock just came in and just took over the fucking world, I have no fucking idea. They should be illegal. They should be fucking illegal. And I'm really glad some places are banning them, but some places are not banning them fast enough. And it also seems like Flock sets contracts with these cities that fucking just never end. No, Flock is fucking evil. And the fact that every city just immediately sold their soul to them. Fucking shameful. Next up, this is where they showed off the special edition Xboxes for the 25th anniversary. And they're going back to OG Xbox with a fucking transparent green. And it looks beautiful. Man, these transparent colors are so fucking cool. I miss them so much. I wish Nintendo would do them again. Like, God, imagine if the limited edition Nintendo Switch that comes with the Ocarina is like a transparent gold. Or even just calling back to like one of those classic N64 colors. And then they make the little cartridge gold. That'd be so fucking cool. I could see them do the cartridge thing. I could genuinely see, because, you know, it's Nintendo. I could see them making the little game card gold. But it just looks nice. Like, yes, it's not like a mature adult thing. But it's got a certain style that is now very nostalgic. And nostalgia sells. Love it or hate it. So yeah, I think these look great. It's a transparent green console and a controller. Comes with 1 terabyte in storage. And then they do say on the website there are other hidden surprises. What that means, we don't entirely know, but I think it's fine. Again, it's the 25th anniversary console. You want it to look nice. You want to pay tribute to the fans. And it seems like, for the moment, they're doing a good job. And then that comes out November 26th. We do not have a price point, but I'm going to guess they're going to make it the same cost as, you know, the normal 1 terabyte Xbox Series X. That'd be my hope anyways. And it does, like, it is limited edition, but this isn't one of those things where they're only making like 100 of them and calling it a day. It looks like you're going to be able to find this at, like, you know, the normal retailers, which is nice. Next up, they showed off Age of Empires 4 and its new DLC, Raiders of the North. At least, is that its new DLC? Maybe it's just the new game. Fuck, I don't know. You'd be surprised at how little transparency we got about whether something was new or a DLC. Like, you would assume everything would just say, but they don't always say. Either way, you know, it's Age of Empires 4. After that, we saw Minecraft Dungeons 2. We really got... again, it wasn't a cinematic trailer, but we did not get as much gameplay as we wanted. We basically had the screenshots we already have. We just got a little bit more of that. It still looks fine. I know people like Minecraft Dungeons. From people who previewed Minecraft Dungeons 2, it seems like they're addressing all the major issues people had with the first game, which is nice. I don't know. I know I bought Minecraft Dungeons 2 a few weeks ago, and I said I was going to play it. I still plan on it. I've just been a little preoccupied with a different Xbox game. After that, they showed off Magicians: The Devil's Deal. This, I don't want to say this is my highlight of the show. I think this is my biggest surprise of the show. This was not something I expected, but I think it looks very good. Basically, you're a magician, and you're making deals with the devil, and now you've got to get out of it in this sort of like BioShock style gameplay. At least that's what it reminds me of. You know, you're going around as this magician, but you can use your magician powers kind of like the plasmids in BioShock. Really cool, really good idea. It looks very creative. It's being developed by Uppercut Games and Focus Entertainment. I was really impressed. This is one of those things where it's like, yeah, I want to play this. This is so on my radar. Because I love me some Bioshock. And magic is kind of dumb, but it's also entertaining, you know? You gotta get into it. And you gotta have fun with it, and I'm having fun with it. So yeah, this is definitely on my radar. I hope it's good. I do. But I think this is one of the highlights of the show. Just as like something new goes. Next up is Valor Mortis. This is the one that got delayed. Originally it was coming out September 24th. Now it only got delayed until October, so it's not like a major delay. But it is still a delay. And this is, you know, you're in the Napoleonic War. It looks fine. I don't know, I can't remember the developers, but I know people like their other work, so hopefully it's good. After that, they showed off Elder Scrolls Online. Hey, the new big update coming out in July is the return of the Thieves Guild. So you'll be able to deal with the Thieves Guild and all their, you know, doing their missions, breaking into houses. I loved the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. Admittedly, I never finished it, but that's because, you know, you do it for the skeleton key. And if you finish the Thieves Guild, you lose the skeleton key. At least I'm pretty sure, that sounds right in my head, that you have to give it up. So everyone just does the Thieves Guild until they get the skeleton key, and then they stop. At least that's what I did. But it's still a fun set of missions. After that, they showed off Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's getting its big update on July 4th that adds the national parks. I mean, the national parks are already in the game, but they're specifically focusing on, like, updating them, making them look better, making them look smoother, easier to fly around. They showed off a bunch of national parks from all around the West. Well, I say that, but I noticed they skipped New Mexico. Like, they do Texas, they do Colorado, they do Arizona, Utah, Nevada, California, Oregon, and I think they do Washington. It was just something I noticed on the rewatch. Which, if you've never been to White Sands, I understand them not doing Carlsbad. Carlsbad is great, but it's all underground. But if you've never been to White Sands, I also recommend it. White Sands is a pretty cool, beautiful place. A lot of these national parks are beautiful. Utah, though, I get focusing on Utah. Arches, Zion, the other one, whose name I can't remember. They're all beautiful. Next up, Where Winds Meet, Hidden Mountain. I don't even remember what the fuck this was. It's a game. It comes out in July. What the fuck was this? Where Winds Meet. Oh, this is Everstone Studios. It's I don't know if it's Japanese or Chinese. It's an action adventure open world RPG. Okay. This is one of my favorite songs in Shovel Knight, by the way. I love the waltz here. Because if you've never played this game, it's a love story. And it's a great love story, and this is one of the pivotal moments. I could listen to this all day. I could listen to this for the next, 3 hours. But no, we gotta move on. Next up, they showed off Castlevania Belmont's Curse. This is made by the developers of Dead Cells, and it looks fucking amazing. I am so excited for this game. Comes out October 15th. However, as I later learned, while this game is coming to Switch, it will not be on Switch at launch. It'll be everywhere else on October 15th, and it'll come to Switch at a later date that they have not announced yet. And that sucks. That, because I was going to play it on Switch 2. And when I say Switch, I probably mean Switch 2. But I was going to play it on Switch 2, and now I can't. And that sucks. Next up, they show Vivarium. This is that Studio Ghibli style game. Personally, it reminds me of Animal Crossing. Like, that's kind of like you're going around, you're in this like bottle world, but you're going around, you're meeting the different townspeople. If I had to compare it to anything, I'd compare it to Animal Crossing. Now, that may not be the gameplay at all. It might be more of like a Stardew Valley. It might be just like a cozy game. But it's got that Studio Ghibli art style. It looks good. It's allegedly coming out next year. We'll see if that sticks. But hey, I do think it looks good. And then next up, they showed off the logo for Persona 6. Yes, that is exciting. Seeing the logo for Persona 6 is very exciting. Do I wish we had gotten a little more? Of course I do. But something is better than nothing. It's still Persona 6. That's very exciting for a lot of people. Again, I'll get around to these Personas one day. It has been confirmed it's coming to Xbox, Steam, and PS5. I don't know if it's coming to Epic Game Store. It might be. Not coming to Nintendo. Not yet, anyways. Again, give it some time for Switch 2. I'm sure it'll happen at some point. And then they announced Spyro: A Realm Reborn. This is done by the developers of Toys for Bob. There was actually an interview where they were talking. I guess the original the Spyro trilogy sold 11 million units. It sold very well. And yet they still had to basically beg Microsoft to let them make a new Spyro game. What the fuck is wrong with this industry, man? You know, you have a game sell 11 million copies. That should be the easiest green light in the world. And instead they basically had to beg Microsoft to let them do it. Meanwhile, you know, these studios will just greenlight the next fucking live service shooter that will be dead in a month without a single question. Like, God, this fucking industry. I saw someone say that on Twitter, and I completely agree. After that, they showed off Clockwork Revolution. Still looks good. I'm still very interested in this one. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's coming out finally next year, and it will be Xbox console exclusive. It'll probably also be on Steam as well and whatnot. Probably. But for the moment, it is Xbox console exclusive. Because, yeah, they're clearly doing this big push towards console exclusives. I mean, we'll talk about Asha, Sharma, and Matt Booty's Memo in a minute. But yeah, no wonder. And then finally, the show ended with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. They showed off their new DMZ mode, which is basically an extraction shooter. You know, extraction shooters are all the rage nowadays, so Call of Duty's finally getting into it. And this whole thing is you're in the DMZ in North Korea, and you know, you're going in, finding people, and extracting them out. It's definitely a thing that's happening. The worst part of these Microsoft shows is always Call of Duty. Specifically the fact that they always fucking end on Call of Duty. I understand, Call of Duty sells very well, it's very popular, but for the past 2 years, these shows always end on Call of Duty. And it's always the worst fucking part of the show. I don't get it, but it's what they do. It's what they did last year, it's what they did this year. Hopefully it's not what they do next year, but knowing them, yeah. But yeah, showing Call of Duty at the end. Like, if they had just switched Call of Duty and Clockwork, I probably would have been fine. Because the end announcement should always be the biggest one. And Call of Duty, yes, but despite it selling well, is never the biggest announcement. And yeah, that's the Xbox Showcase. Again, I thought it was very good, very entertaining. Yeah, the gear stuff I care less about, but that's fine. As I'm sipping this drink, I keep getting chunks of pineapple, and like that's maybe my one problem with it, is because I have to, like, you know, pineapple. It's got like not the pulp, but it's like the chewy bit of the pineapple. Yeah, I thought the Xbox Showcase was good. I enjoyed it. So there's the good news. Now it's time for the bad news. So just a few days after the Xbox showcase, Asha Sharma and Matt Booty put out a letter to the staff of Xbox where they basically said that, hey, you know, now that we've had this big celebration, we should make you all aware restructuring is coming. Basically, Xbox is going to be doing some layoffs. Why are they doing layoffs? Well, things aren't exactly good in the hardware business. You know, everything is going up. It costs like 200% more to make an Xbox now than it did just like 2 years ago. And they speculate that by 2030, I think, it'll cost over 300% more, that they don't expect prices to go down anytime soon. Now, I do want to point out, this is Xbox's fault. Xbox is one of the major companies investing in AI. They're the ones who are, not Xbox, but Microsoft. Microsoft is the one that are using all these parts. They're part of the reason the memory leak even happened in the first place. So this is Xbox being hurt by their own decisions over at Microsoft. And Sony's the same way. Sony's not invested as heavily in AI as Microsoft, but they are also invested in AI. So they're not that much different either. It's their fault of their own making. But yeah, no, layoffs fucking suck. It also doesn't help. Xbox has spent over $20 billion on ongoing investments underneath Phil Spencer, and that doesn't even include the Activision Blizzard deal, which adds another $69 million to that pot. So basically in the letter, Asha says that they're not going to be buying any more studios. That the age of Xbox, you know, starting their new direct being like, hey, we're going to announce, you know, we bought Double Fine, we bought NXL, we bought, I don't know, a third studio, what's another, Bethesda, you know, that's not happening anymore. The age of Xbox buying studios is over. They did talk about how Game Pass was not doing well. It has, you know, what was the, do I have the number? It was basically that Game Pass was bleeding subscribers under Phil Spencer and the price increases, but since they have lowered the price a few weeks ago, and it's been a few months now, they've actually started to see things recover. It's still not perfect, but things are better when it comes to Game Pass, which at least they have that. And then at the end, they talk about how exclusives are back. That Xbox, you know, they talked during the showcase about how Gears and Clockwork are going to be exclusive, and those are not going to be the last exclusives. They're going to keep doing more of them. That as long as they see that position in the market, they're going to take advantage of it. Which, I know some people fucking hate exclusives. Personally, I don't mind them as much. Yes, does it suck that, oh, well, I don't own an Xbox, I can't play, you know, Clockwork Revolution or whatever? Yes, but at the end of the day, exclusives force companies to make better games. Because why would somebody buy your console in your exclusive if they're not good? So they usually put more time and effort into exclusives than non-exclusives. So yes, at the end of the day, I will stand by. Exclusives are better for the industry. As weird of a take as that may be, I will stand by it. So yeah, my big worry with layoffs is, you know, how many people are getting laid off, because we already had big layoffs last year. That was like in January of last year, they laid off, I don't want to say it was 1,000 people, but it was something close to that. How many people are getting laid off this time? And then are any studios getting closed? Like, there are some studios that are, you know, safe playground games, probably In Exile, developer of Clockwork Revolution. They're probably safe, but what about like Double Fine? I mean, Double Fine's put out 2 games in the past year, but I don't know if any of them sold that. I hope Kiln and Keeper both sold well. I liked both those games, but I don't know if they actually sold well. To be fair, they were more budget games. What about the developer of Senua? They're another one that I think is very easy to worry about. I mean, I think Bethesda's good. I think Obsidian's probably good. God, I mean, I'd only say Bethesda and Obsidian are good because Asha Sharma literally said at one point that they're looking to put more investment into Bethesda and Obsidian. So I think they're both fine. But everyone else I would be a little worried about. What are Xbox studios? Let's see, can I find just like which studios Microsoft owns? My other thought, I think Mojang is also fine, you know. Microsoft, or Minecraft keeps making money. I don't think anyone from Activision Blizzard King is in danger. Maybe one of the Call of Duty support studios. I could see that being a worry. But I think most of those are fine. I know that one studio already got shut down. Is Arcane Studio safe? You know, I know they said, like, people were asking, hey, where's Blade? And someone from Arcane was like, let us cook. So I'd hope they're fine, but you never know. And there was another, but there was another, what's the one that got shut down recently? Yeah. I don't know. Compulsion, I mean, hopefully South of Midnight did fine. I mean, it's literally one of the only game awards Xbox has ever won was from South of Midnight. But I would assume Compulsion's fine. The Coalition is definitely fine. Ninja Theory is the other one I'd worry about. They do Hellblade. Yeah, I'd worry about them. Oh, and then Rare. I mean, Rare, like, yes, they're making Sea of Thieves, but that's it. You know, their other game got canceled. So I don't think we're getting a new Rare thing outside of Sea of Thieves anytime soon. So I am a little worried about Rare. Undead Labs is, you know, they've got a game. World's Edge has a game. Yeah, it's really just Double Fine, Rare. And that doesn't mean I don't think they're getting, like, the Senua team I don't think is getting shut down today. But they're in, I would say they're in danger. But yeah, Rare, Double Fine, and what's this? I know the studio that made, or that was making Perfect Dark already got shut down. That's just a worry. There's nothing that says that a studio is definitely getting shut down, but it is definitely a concern that somebody somewhere is getting closed. That is a real, genuine concern. Because no matter how good things seem to be going in the game industry, at the end of the day, you have to make more money than you did last year, or else the shareholders will be disappointed, and, I don't know, your company will be destroyed or something. Oh, fucking... Everything fucking sucks. I know, I swear you could make that jump. Maybe I'm thinking of a different part in this level. Alright, we've been talking about the Xbox Showcase for like an hour now. Let's talk about, Nintendo, shall we? So the Nintendo Direct... Again, Blessing Adeoye Jr. put it great, where if you're just looking at the announcements from this Direct, a new Xenoblade, Kingdom Hearts 4 update, Ocarina of Time remake, the announcements in this Direct are all great announcements. The problem is the presentation. The way they talked about these announcements are the problem with this Direct. That's where the issue comes in. The Direct itself is actually good. It's just the way they talk about it. Them spending 2 minutes on thumb wrestling. Which, you know, if it had been part of the Treehouse, nobody would have complained. But the fact that they literally stopped the Direct in its tracks to watch Koizumi, you know, thumb wrestle, and then he fucking loses as well to, like, presumably one of the AIs. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with that. On paper, I think it's funny. You know, them showing off thumb wrestling. In execution, however, the thumb wrestling segment just does not work. And it's not the whole thing that killed the Direct, but it's definitely one of the notable reasons. I need to sneeze so bad, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I sneezed so hard right there. So the Nintendo Direct started off with Rhythm Heaven Groove. I'm gonna be honest, not a great way to open the Direct. I understand why they did it. It's because Rhythm Heaven is the last OG Nintendo Switch game. So they started off with it to specifically highlight that, like, hey, if you own a Nintendo Switch, here's the last Switch game. And then after this, everything else is going to be... I mean, some of it will be on Switch 1. But that's only third-party stuff. Every first-party thing, Switch 2 only. So I understand why they did it. But it does not make for a good opening for a Direct. They should have started off with either Fire Emblem or Xenoblade. Both Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave? Both Fire Emblem and Xenoblade Genesis are better announcements to start a Direct with. I mean, I'm pretty sure both those games have opened Direct, both a Fire Emblem and a Xenoblade have opened a Direct in the past. But no, instead they started off with Rhythm Heaven Groove. To that end, I will say, I think Rhythm Heaven Groove looks fantastic. 80 mini games. They're going to do 4-player co-op with over 30 4-player co-op games. They're doing, there's this RPG mode where you do different attacks based on, like, you entering rhythm into a thing. You know, not Crypt of the Necrodancer, but not dissimilar either. Like, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. We're fighting Shovel. Man, I love this moment where you get to fight Shovel Knight here. It's just one of the things that benefits from, you know, you saw this moment in the other game, and now you get to actually play it. That's cool. I like that. It's not the best moment in one of these campaigns. I think there's something in Spectre of Torment that's even better, but we'll get to that in future weeks. But yeah, I think everything from Rhythm Heaven Groove looks good. It's not a game that I'm, like, excited for, but I will be playing it. I don't think I'll be streaming it, but I will definitely be playing it because I made a promise, and I keep my promises. After that, they showed off Onimusha Way of the Sword. For Nintendo Switch, the one big change they're doing is that it's going to have Joy-Con motion controls. So in my head, it's like Skyward Sword. I don't know if it's actually gonna work like Skyward Sword, but I think the idea that it'll play like Skyward Sword is very funny. But yeah, hey, it's something they're doing. I think it comes out the same day on Switch as everything else. And by the way, I'm just gonna say this now. When I say Switch, I'm talking about the Switch 2. You know, in the same way, when someone says PlayStation, I know they're not talking about the PS1. I know they're talking about the PS5. You know, when someone says Xbox, I don't think they're talking about the original Xbox. I know they're talking about the Series S/Series X. When I say, oh, it's coming to Nintendo Switch, I'm talking about Nintendo Switch 2. I think the problem is just that the Switch 2 isn't dead yet. Give it like a year's time and this won't matter anymore. But at the moment, the Switch 1 is still, you know, it has one more first-party game coming out. But just know that when I say Switch, I'm talking about Switch 2. Sometimes, if I'm talking about Switch 1, I'll say Switch 1. But yeah, everything from Onimusha still looks fine. Like, yeah, it doesn't look as good as it does on other consoles, but it still looks good. We got Dragon's Dogma 2, Dark Arisen. Now, they do not explain this at all in the Direct, but I found out later on, Dark Arisen is actually a DLC. So they're porting over Dragon's Dogma 2, but it's also getting a new DLC that is based on one of the previous games, Dark Arisen, which is actually pretty cool. You know, I kind of wish they had highlighted that in the Direct, but they don't really explain it that well. But it's still cool that it's happening. So yeah, that all looks fine. And it's out October 9th. Next up, Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is coming to Switch 2. It's coming out sometime later this year. We don't have a date at the moment. I know there's been a lot of controversy with Stellar Blade right now, specifically with, you know, sexualization of its characters and how the new character Eevee is designed to look more like a child. Like, the developers just straight up admitted that, yes, they did give her a more childish face. Like, that was intentional. And that they know, you know, the character will be sexualized, which is just fucking gross. So, yeah, I'm not playing Stellar Blade. After that, they showed off Orbitals. This is that Switch 2 exclusive game that is, you know, a Hazelight-like. So it's, you know, 2-player co-op as you go through, solve levels. Looks fantastic still, you know, 80s anime aesthetic. Maybe, I can't remember if it's 80s or 90s. Either way, it looks good. It's now got a release date, September 3rd. It's getting a physical edition that I don't think is a game key card. And yeah, it all looks fantastic. You know, they're clearly putting their support into this game. After that, we got Rayman Legends Retold. We saw this at Summer Games Fest. Still looks good. Comes out October 1st. After that, we got Big Walk. This is the new game by House, developers of Untitled Goose Game. And it's just you and your friends. You take a big walk. It is kind of friend slop, but it's not competitive friend slop. It's co-op friend slop, but it's more like, you know, you and your friends going on a hike together, you're taking a big walk. Along the way, it looks like there is some sort of story where you're trying to, like, restore these, like, generators. I guess not dissimilar to, like, Mina the Hollower, but it's not that serious. I don't know. I know people got to preview this one as well, and supposedly it's got, like, a very unique vibe that people really liked. So yeah, I'm excited for Big Walk. I know it's also coming to PlayStation. Presumably it's other places as well. But no, it still looks good. And yeah, it's nice to just finally have a release date. Because this game was announced in like 2021. It's been a long time. Next up, we got one of the weirdest announcements. One Piece Grand Gourmet. So this is a One Piece game, but you're running a restaurant. And you can interact with over 400 characters from the One Piece universe. It's coming to both Switch and Switch 2, but it'll have mouse controls on Switch 2. It's probably coming to other things as well. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's coming to PC. But yeah, the developers, if you ever played Game Dev Story, it's the same developers as the people who did Game Dev Story. And while I am not a One Piece fan, I actually think this one looks pretty neat. Like, of all the One Piece games, the idea of doing a restaurant One Piece game is not what you'd expect, but that's kind of why I like it. I won't be picking it up because I'm not a One Piece fan, but I do think it is interesting. Yeah, you know, you don't see shit like that all the time. And that comes out October 23rd. Next up, we got Pokopia. So they're going to be getting a new update in August that adds dive to the game. So you can go underwater, you can build underwater houses, there'll be, you know, underwater Pokemon, but then they're also doing a DLC that adds in a new underwater town called Bubbly Basin. That will also come out in August, presumably on the same day. It's weird, because in the Direct, they say, like, oh, the DLC available today. What they mean is that you're able to basically purchase the DLC today and get like a custom like rug pattern or some shit. You know, something nobody cares about. But they really worded it poorly. But yeah, the first DLC will come out in August. And then for part 2, they say it'll be out by late 2026. However, if you actually go to Nintendo's website or the eShop, they say that it could be out as late as March 30th, 2027. So while it probably will be in like November or December, it could be out as late as next year. And then same thing, Wave 3 of the DLC, they just say 2027, but if you go on the eShop, it says by September 30th, 2027. So while these will probably be sooner than that, those are kind of your maximum dates. After that, they showed off Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. We got to meet our 4 protagonists. They're very ashy, because we're clearly in an area inspired by Africa. I'm not the only one to have noticed this, and it just, like, all our characters are presumably black. But, like, Fire Emblem has done black characters in the past, and yet these ones just look so ashy compared to them. But other than that, 3 of the 4, but they still all look fine. We did find out this game's gonna have dungeons, like Secrets of Valencia. You know, yes, you have the whole arena tournament thing, but there's also a world you explore where you can go level up between tournament stuff. It looks very good. It's still a Fire Emblem game. So I can't remember who was saying it. Maybe it was Gitmads, who was talking about Fire Emblem games don't show very well, but they're very fun to play. Like, it's kind of hard to show a Fire Emblem game in one of these showcases. But when you're actually playing the game, it's a lot of fun. And I think that's a good way to look at it. It comes out September 17th. It does have a collector's edition. So, because, you know, there's a reason the Fire Emblem mobile game is the only Nintendo mobile game still around. Because Fire Emblem fans love their waifus and love to spend money on their waifus. So it makes sense that, yeah, they're getting a collector's edition. However, the one controversial thing about this new Fire Emblem is the price. This is Nintendo's second $80 game. If you are buying this game physically, it will cost you $80. If you're buying it digitally, it's only $70, which is, you know, standard industry price. But yes, since Mario Kart World, like, yeah, they've done a few DLCs that get the game up to like 80 or 90, but games themselves, this is the first big game that is $80. And that does suck. That does tell you that, yes, I am now 100% certain. Okay, let's say 99% certain that Ocarina of Time will be $90 or $80 physically, I mean. GTA is probably also going to be 80 to 90 physically. But yeah, this basically confirms for me that, yes, Ocarina of Time is going to be $80. So, you know, digitally save those $10. Also, you can buy through Walmart or Amazon. They also sell the games for the digital price. So do that. You just have to buy it before release date. Because if you don't buy it, because on release date, it goes back up to the 70, 80, whatever. And then the special edition is 120. After that, they showed off Ninjala 2, The Uncharted Planet. Now, I guess Ninjala 2 is an open world game. I do not remember the first game being an open world game. I remember the first game being like a Splatoon-like. God, that's a weird thing to say. But yeah, it looks like the sequel is open world, which, hey, you know, if the game did well enough to get a sequel, good for it. It's at least not one of those live service games that died immediately, you know? People liked it enough, I guess. Then we got the Donkey Kong Challenge. So this is a weird thing they're doing on Nintendo Switch Online, where you can go and you can play challenges from the NES, the SNES, and I think the Game Boy. It's basically all of the non-expansion pass Donkey Kong games, but there are some challenges for Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's a weird limited time event. I don't know, Nintendo had an idea, and they're just rolling with it. It's weird, it's kind of dumb. I hate when they do this limited time event bullshit, but it's what Nintendo likes to do. I mean, to be fair, they literally have been doing it type of shit like this since the Famicom disk drive. It's as old as the company themselves. But yeah, these are developer challenges. You get these collectible cards. Do the cards fucking do anything? Not that I can tell. You know, like, they had the opportunity to be like, hey, these are like special like Donkey Kong achievements or some shit like that. Do like an achievement system. Nah, they don't care about that. And this is already available right now. They're also doing a Mario 40th Anniversary DLC for Donkey Kong Bonanza. There's specifically stuff in the Emerald Rush mode, including an unlockable Mario and Luigi skin, which I do think the Mario and Luigi skin is very cute. Yeah, it all looks fine. Because again, there is no new 3D Mario this year, because Donkey Kong Bonanza is the follow-up to Mario Odyssey. And I'm tired of pretending like it's not. We didn't get a new 3D Mario, because Donkey Kong Bonanza is 3D Mario. And we need to stop acting like it isn't. I understand you like the Plumber Boy, but Donkey Kong Bonanza is as good, if not better, than Odyssey. I could see that argument. I don't know if I entirely agree with it, but I could see the argument. From there, we got Jujutsu Kaisen Rumble Survivation. This is made by Ponicle, the developers of Vampire Survivors. And it's basically an 8-player Vampire Survivors, where, you know, you're trying to survive on these levels, defeat, and, you know, sabotage your opponents, and then at the end, you do a 1v1 versus the the 2 strongest players, 1v1 to determine the winner. It definitely reminds me more of something like Tetris 99 than it does, you know, some of the other, like, Battle Royale-ish style games. But hey, I trust Ponicle. I'm not a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, so I probably won't play this game, and I'll just stick to Vampire Crawlers. But it's just kind of neat that this exists at all. I'm glad Ponicle is getting the credit they deserve, because they're a really good developer who have done some great stuff. After that, Lords of the Fallen 2 was showing off again, still coming out later this year. Liza P Complete Edition is coming to Switch 2. It'll be out digitally on August 6th, and then physically on October 2nd. It includes the full game and all the DLC. I'm not good at Soulsborne games, but hey, it's cool that this exists at all. Liza P is one of those games that's like, yeah, you know, they should bring that to Switch 2 eventually. Kind of like Metaphor or Expedition 33. It just made sense. And yeah, it was about time it happened. I know some people are mad that, you know, we're getting these ports of older games on Switch 2. But you gotta remember, there are a lot of people who only own a Switch or a Switch 2, who have never owned a PC, never owned an Xbox, never owned a PlayStation. They only own a Switch. Remember, what are the PS5 sales numbers? Sales. The PS5 has sold 93 million units. The Nintendo Switch has sold over 155 million. Even best case scenario, assuming everyone who owns a PS5 also owns a Switch, that still leaves 16 million people who would have never had a chance to play a game like Metaphor, like Lies of P, because they only own that Switch. And while I know the Switch 2 is at a much smaller number, it's only like 20 million at the moment, that's still not nothing. So I understand, you know, people who are very locked into the gaming industry, they don't need to play these ports. They've already played these things on other systems, on PC, but there are also a lot of people who are not locked into the gaming industry. And they might be interested in something like Lies of P, but because they only own a Switch, they'll never play it. And they're not good, because Best case scenario. Okay, let's say I wanted to play Lies of P right now. It would cost me at minimum like $400 because I would have to buy an Xbox Series S in the game, which is again like $400. I don't know. I'm assuming an Xbox Series X is like $350. It might even cost $450. Oh, I meant Series S. An Xbox Series S is $400. The game is you can probably get it on sale for like $20. So yeah, I would still say if I were best case scenario, if I only owned a Switch and wanted to play this on another system, it would still cost me over $400. Almost as much as the Switch 2 itself. But that's the world some of these people want us to live in. Fucking ridiculous. Alright, next up is Devil May Cry 5. Again, another great example. Everything I just said about everything else is also true. And hey, I know people really want Devil May Cry 6. Maybe it's finally happening. And maybe it'll be on every system. Comes out June 23rd digitally, 60 FPS in both handheld and TV mode. Great. Next up there was Muramasa Revenant Blades. Comes out early 2027. Also coming to Steam. Then they talked about Xenoblade Chronicles 1 through 3. So all these editions will have 60 FPS, 4K on TV, 1080 on handheld. They're adding content to each of the games, you know. It looks like there's a roguelite mode in 3, there's mercenary missions in 2, and then they're adding like a flying bike to the first game. Each of these enhanced editions costs $10 each. Xenoblade 1 is available today, with a physical edition coming out at the end of July 30th. Then Xenoblade 2 comes out digitally July 30th, with a physical edition October 1st. And finally, Xenoblade 3 comes out both physically and digitally December 3rd. Hey, guess what? All three of those games are fucking fantastic. Hopefully, from what I can tell so far, the Xenoblade 1, which is the only one to come out, does not have the same issue as X, where like the upgraded textures kind of make the game look blurry. Xenoblade 2 does not have that issue. Or Xenoblade 1, I mean, does not have that issue. So that's good. From what I can tell, I could be wrong, but it doesn't seem like the case. But everything looks good. I'm excited, you know, I saw Blessing was playing Xenoblade for the first time. That's very exciting. I'm very jealous of him, you know. Experiencing Xenoblade for the first time is truly something special. It's a fantastic game. Am I going to get back into Xenoblade Chronicles 1 again? Probably not. But I've definitely been tempted. It is definitely a very tempting thing. It's a really good game. And then finally, we got our new Xenoblade game, Xenoblade Genesis. I cannot believe I called that name. Again, there is a TikTok out there where I made the joke of like, oh, the next game is going to be called Xenoblade Chronicles Y as like a follow-up to X. But my actual answer was Xenoblade Chronicles Genesis. And I actually fucking nailed it, which is crazy. That, like, to that level, that has never happened to me. At least not for a long time. But I think it looks good. It definitely feels more like Xenoblade is a weird balance of like fantasy and sci-fi. Like it's a sci-fi world where there are like mech suits and robots, but there are also, you know, fantasy elements like magic and whatnot. And this new one definitely seems to have less magic or less robots and more fantasy stuff. It reminds me more of a Fire Emblem. Because based on the synopsis, it looks like we're attending some sort of, like, school. Which, hey, that's literally the plot of Three Houses. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but you get my point. But I think it looks good. Again, another Xenoblade. Another Xenoblade is fantastic. After that, they showed off Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. This is coming out October 22nd. It is a $50 digital game. So that means if you want the $50 digital, $60 physical. The last game in the series, Nintendo Switch Sports, was a $50 game. And I want to say it might have even been $40. I'd have to double check that, But there's a part of me that thinks Nintendo Switch Sports might have only been $40 digitally. So the fact that they're charging a full $60 for this is fucking bullshit. Like, back in the day, the original Wii Sports Resort cost $60, and that came with a controller. So the idea that Resort... Yeah, you can buy it. You can buy the original Nintendo Switch Sports for for $40. They're charging an extra $20 for this new game. Which, just to make things worse, a third of the games, it's even more than a third, are just reused games from the original Nintendo Switch Sports. Nintendo Switch Sports Resorts brings back baseball, tennis, badminton, golf, and basketball. Those were all in the first game as well. And now they're back in this one. That's basically half. And I mean, all the other the only new game in this one is Thumb War. Every other mini game in here has been in a previous game except for Thumb Wars. That's kind of disappointing. You know, I understand, okay, bowling and golf have to be in every Wii Sports game. I get it. To be fair, Wii Sports Resort did not have tennis. It had table tennis, but it's still the same shit. That fucking sucks. Oh, that's the first one. I'm talking about Nintendo Switch Sports. Nintendo Switch Sports was only $40. That's the Switch one. No, the original one was a packet on the Wii, and that was fantastic, and that was Reggie's Magic. So yeah, I do think this game is kind of fucking bullshit, but there is still a decent chance I'm gonna play it. Because I do love Nintendo Switch Sports. I love the bowling. I know I can already do the bowling. I love the plane stuff. I'm glad they didn't just bring back sword fighting again and we got boxing. I like boxing more than I do sword fighting. I do hope they bring back the missions from Wii Sports Resort. The missions were always fun. I hope they bring back the secret targets and archery. You know, you gotta do all that shit. And I just worry they don't. I guarantee this is not even being made by Nintendo. It's being made by the people who did the basketball update. And the reason they did the basketball update was to prove that they could do the next one. Sports basketball. Basketball is a free motion control made for the summer update. I'm trying to see if I can find out who made it. It's 2-on-2. I just know basketball was added by some other studio. And I guarantee you they're making the new one. And yeah, this is just, I understand why people are mad at this. I get, oh, Woohoo Island's back. Okay, that's kind of cool. But you also brought back the fucking Sportsmates. Nobody likes the Sportsmates. Everybody likes their Miis. Tomodachi Life is doing fucking numbers right now. People, like, I know the Miis seem kind of dated. People still like the Miis. Just let me import my Miis from Tomodachi Life. Is that fucking hard? Like, spoiler alert, it's not. I'm being sarcastic. It's not hard. At all. Update the system's default Mii Maker to be more like the Tomodachi Life one. You don't need to put everything, but like, give me all the new updated hairstyles. Let me do some face paint stuff. It's not that fucking hard, Nintendo. But no, I guarantee you they're gonna do none of that shit. Because outside of Tomodachi Life, Nintendo actually does not like the Miis. They're kind of embarrassed by them nowadays. And if it wasn't for the fact that they knew Tomodachi Life would sell millions of units, they would have never made another one. Probably, anyways. But yeah, no, I'm not very impressed with Nintendo Switch Sports. But if it had been $40, I would be more forgiving. But the fact that it's 60, I mean, you know, you pay, if you buy digitally, you get 50. Still, And no, it should have been, they could have cut it down 10, 20 at minimum, and it would have been better. After that, we got RuneScape Dragon World. This game was at 3 of the 4 showcases. The only showcase it wasn't at was Sony's. No, I mean Xbox's. It wasn't at Xbox's showcase. It was at Sony's, it was at Summer Games Fest, and it was at Nintendo. They're clearly putting everything into this. You know, they want everybody to know this game's going to be everywhere. Then they talked about Hello Kitty Party Island. Hey, it's Hello Kitty Mario Party. It's got 40 mini games, 140 characters. It comes out in October. They then showed off Star Fox. There is a demo for Star Fox available right now. I admittedly have not played it. The new Star Fox games comes out in a little bit more than a week, and I think I'm just gonna wait for the game to come out. I'm fine not playing the demo. I played the 3DS version back in the day. I kind of know what to expect. Because I never actually played the N64 version. I only ever played the 3DS version. Next up, we got Final Fantasy Resonance. So this is Final Fantasy's first ever HD2D game. I did find out later on that this is actually a port of a mobile game. It is not a full, it's not a full port of a mobile game. It's just based on a mobile game, which explains why characters like Clyde Strife are in it. But yeah, this is a game that is heavily based on a mobile game, which is a little disappointing. But other than that, I do think it looks decent. I know people are very excited for it. You know, the fact that this is our first HD 2D Final Fantasy, that is a big deal. I hope it's good. I don't know if it will be, but I hope it is. Oh yeah, we also found out that Velan Studios is doing the Star Fox game. They're the developers who did the Mario Kart Home Circuit, as well as Knockout City. If you remember Knockout City. Yeah, that relic of a game, that live service that disappeared within a year. And the Final Fantasy thing is out October 22nd. After that, we got Piku Niku 2. So during the Direct, they say like, oh, the hit series Piku Niku returns. And there were a bunch of people who were reacting like, what the fuck is Piku Niku? What do you mean hit series? If you have never played Piku Niku, I do recommend it. It's an indie game. It might be published by Devolver. And it's actually pretty fun. It's basically you're this little, red guy, and your town is being destroyed by capitalism. So you have to go into town and like figure out what's going on and stop the evils of capitalism. And that kind of seems to be what the sequel is as well, is you're, exploring this world, but in a new 3D art style that is being destroyed by the evils of capitalism. And I'm not like being like facetious. It literally is capitalism. Like, the game is not very subtle at all with its anti-capitalist messaging. I recommend it. It's pretty good. And you can usually get Piku Niku for like $2. It's a really... I think I got it on Switch for like $2. If you can find it on sale, it's a pretty cheap game. But it's good. It is really good. After that, they showed off Dragon Quest Monsters: The Withered World. It looks fucking terrible. I don't like the game. The Pokemon aspect of the game I think looks fine, but the open world aspect is doing like that Animal Crossing cylinder thing, but it just looks terrible. The cylinder aspect just looks awful in that game. And I don't know, part of me says, oh, it's just they showed off a bad area or it's unfinished, but I don't know. The game comes out in December. That's not too far away. Is it like Death and Puss in Boots, Little Line Manifest? It's not a guy that represents capitalism. It's literally this guy who runs this mega corporation that controls like everybody's land and everybody's food and everybody's water. And I think the whole thing that gets you started in your journey is that he like steals your house or something. It's something. It's been years since I played Piku Niku. I just remember the game was very anti-capitalist. Next up, they showed off the Dusk Bloods. It is kind of sad, you know, this was supposed to be the Dusk Bloods, like, big showing. And we got, like, 2 new screenshots, and that was it. They did not show off that much of the Dusk Bloods. They did announce that they are going to be doing a closed network test later this summer. But I really would have hoped we would have seen some gameplay. Maybe some stuff at the treehouse would have been nice. I know outside we did get, like, a little bit more information about, like, how the 8-player multiplayer works. But it's still, we should have gotten some more of this. I do think they kind of under-delivered with the Dusk Bloods. Which isn't even coming out this year, we don't even know. Like, them doing a network test makes me think that it is, but it might not be. A game we do know a little bit more about is Splatoon Raiders. So this is coming out in July 23rd. We found out there is going to be a Splatoon Raiders Direct at the end of the month on June 30th. They're going to start doing monthly comics here soon. They haven't started yet, but I think they'll start later this month about Deep Cut's Island Misadventures, which that seems fun. They're going to be doing a Splatfest in Splatoon to celebrate Splatoon Raiders, which they did not announce the Splatfest theme during the Direct, but later on they did reveal that it is speed versus power versus technique. You know, which of those 3 skills are more important to you in a game? I'm probably going to go Team Power. I'd never gotten that feat before. That's the first, because I haven't done all the feats in this game. Like, I've never beaten the game deathless or anything, but I'm surprised I didn't have that one. At least, maybe I just didn't have it on Switch. And then we did get 2 new Joy-Con colors. They're not Splatoon Raider colors, which are green and orange. No, instead they're Splatoon 3 colors, which are blue and yellow, which they already have a Splatoon Pro controller. It's the Pro controller I own for the Switch 1. Great controller. But yeah, everything about Splatoon Raiders looked good. They showed it off a little bit at the treehouse. Looked fine at the treehouse. It is definitely taking some influence from Side Order. Like, you know, the shield mechanic from Side Order, that's back. You know, all the gliding stuff from Side Order. Which, hey, that's cool. I like the Side Order stuff. That game's a lot of fun. Next up, Deltarune Chapter 5. Hey, Deltarune may not be tomorrow, but it is in like 10 days. People are very excited. Toby Fox gave an update on his blog that Chapter 6 is already in development, and they hope that by the end of the year, I'm pretty sure the final chapter, Chapter 7, will begin development. So that's very exciting. They showed off Metaphor ReFantazio. This is one of those games, kind of like, you know, Expedition 33, or I guess Elden Ring is my other one. That's like very obvious that it was eventually going to come to Switch. And yeah, here it is. It looks fine. I've never played a Persona game. I've heard good things about Metaphor. I know people really liked it. It's one of those things that I'll check out eventually, hopefully. But yeah, it's finally coming to Switch. It is coming out November 12th. So this is one of those games that's going to be technically competing against GTA 5. Even though the actual game came out years ago, so like, it doesn't matter that much. It still is interesting nevertheless. Because, yeah, right now, the only games that we know about that are coming out in November are GTA 6, Metaphor, Barbie Rewind, and Godzilla. And I know a lot of people keep making jokes about Godzilla. I think Barbie is the funnier game of that set. I think Barbie Rewind Collection is way funnier to be coming out in November than I do think Godzilla is. But for some reason, people only keep bringing up Godzilla. From there, Minecraft. Minecraft is getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. They didn't get a release date or anything like that. I hope it's sooner rather than later. Like, there's a part of me that was hoping, you know, it was actually going to be coming out, like, in, like, 2 days when the new update comes out. But it'll probably be sometime in the fall. Probably for their new fall-themed update. And the big thing is it's going to have the vibrant visuals. Mojang is leaving... I don't know if you watched Minecraft Live. Mojang is leaning really heavily into the vibrant visuals. They kind of really want that to be the new direction of Minecraft. I do agree, Godzilla is bigger than Barbie, but I think Barbie is a funnier punchline. I think Barbie makes for like a better joke title than Godzilla does. At least that's just my take. But yeah, I think the nice thing about Minecraft is that it's going to be one of those enhanced editions that lets you carry over your save data from the Switch 1 version. That's nice. That's a good thing to have. I'm glad they're doing that. We got Tales of Eternia remasters coming to Switch 2. They'll be on October 16th. And then finally, they talked about Kingdom Hearts. We got to... Because currently, or at least used to be, you could buy the Kingdom Hearts games on Switch 1, but they were only cloud editions. And I honestly don't know a single person who bought Kingdom Hearts on Switch 1, because nobody wanted the cloud editions. But now they're fine, kind of like what they did with Resident Evil, because those were also cloud editions that then got full Switch 2 ports. They're doing the same thing with Kingdom Hearts. They've got the cloud editions, and you can carry over your save data, but just straight up, it's full versions on system. I don't think they've announced if it's going to be, like, do a game key card thing yet. I don't think they've said. I hope it's not. God, I hope it's not. But outside of that, you know, they're running on the system Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. There's going to be a bundle with all the games. It's very exciting. And then finally, they showed off Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah, we still don't have a release date or anything like that. But hey, this is our first update of Kingdom Hearts 4 in years. There is a rumor going around that it's coming out next year. That I guess there's some sort of like listing that lists the game as having a 2027 release date. I'll believe it when I see it, but for the moment, I don't think so. I think it's, there's a lot of people have been saying 2029. I wouldn't go that far, but I could see 2028. And then the final announcement was the Ocarina of Time remake. It's a remake of Ocarina of Time. I am excited for this. I like Ocarina of Time. I do not have any nostalgia. Well, okay, I do have nostalgia, but I do not have N64 nostalgia for Ocarina. I first played Ocarina in like 2013 on the 3DS. I did not play it on the N64. I didn't even have an N64 growing up. You know? I kind of skipped that generation. But now, my one thing with this Ocarina of Time remake is, okay, I know there are two camps. There are the people who want a faithful remake, you know, like the 3DS version. And then there are people who want them to radically change the game. I'll give it the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth treatment, or remake treatment. And you know what? I'm in that second camp. I've played Ocarina. I've had a good time with Ocarina. If you want to play Ocarina on your Switch or Switch 2, you can go do that right now. I feel like they should take what we know and love about Ocarina and recontextualize it. Put it in a new world. Give me that full Final Fantasy VII treatment. That's what I want. I think that's more interesting. I know change is scary. And you know, people always bitch and moan that Nintendo plays it too safe. Well, here's your chance for Nintendo to actually take a chance. And I just don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to play it extremely safe. And we're just going to get Ocarina of Time again. As long as they keep, like, either way, I'm not going to be too upset. As long as they keep the changes from the 3DS version, I think it's fine. But I'm a little worried. I wish they had showed off some gameplay. If we had gotten some gameplay, if it hadn't leaked, maybe I would have been a little bit more excited. But right now, I just kind of like, okay, this is a thing. Here, like I said, all the announcements are good. I think every announcement they showed here is a very good, very interesting announcement. It's just the way they showed it. If they had showed us some gameplay of Ocarina, you know, maybe we would know if the game's going to be different or not. I would be feeling a different way. But because we got nothing other than just a tease that it's happening, I think the Direct was fine. The announcements are good. I know at the time I think I give it like a 7 out of 10. I still stand by that 7 out of 10. I know some people are a lot lower on it than that. Fucking talking flower. I know some people are a lot lower on it than that. Personally, it helps that I'm a Xenoblade fan. If I wasn't a Xenoblade fan, I would probably be a lot lower on this Direct as well. But because I am a Xenoblade fan, I'm very excited. But I understand people's complaints. I know people are mad there's no Mario game. I think it's fine. I don't think it's the end of the world. We'll get a Mario eventually. Go play Donkey Kong Bonanza again. Go play it from the start. It's a very fucking good game. That, at least for me, scratched my Mario itch. That's everything I could have wanted out of a 3D Mario. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm not in any kind of rush. And the game is too beloved for them to dare. I mean, you're probably right. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about, like, Link to the Past or Super Metroid. I would love a Link to the Past or Super Metroid remake, but for those, I would want them to play it safe and just do a one-for-one remake, because those games are also kind of too beloved for them to do anything different. Exactly. I mean, Nintendo doesn't have a, Mario isn't their only franchise. They have a big five for a reason. And it used to be the big four. Before that, it was a completely different big four, but yeah. I mean, Mario, Zelda, Splatoon, Animal Crossing, and Pikmin. We got updates for both Mario Wonder and we got a Mario Wonder update this year. We got an Animal Crossing update this year. Hopefully we get a Pikmin something, but if we don't, that's gonna be okay. And then we're getting a new Splatoon next month, and we've got a Zelda at the end of the year. I mean, sure, it wasn't what everybody wanted, but we still got a little bit of everything from all the big Nintendo franchises. Minus Pikmin, but Pikmin's gonna take its time. Yeah, overall, I think it was a fine Direct. After that, we got the Treehouse. The Treehouse, they showed off Star Fox, they showed off Splatoon Raiders, and they showed off Rhythm Heaven. Again, I do kind of wish they had saved Wii Sports Resort for this. Have Bill Trinen thumb war some rando employee. But other than that, it's the Treehouse. I think it was a fine Direct. My overall ranking for the end of Summer Games Fest season, yes, I also want a new Luigi's Mansion. My dream is that it's set on a cruise ship. I think Luigi's Mansion on a cruise ship or a train would be very fun. But we'll see. So my ranking for the Nintendo Directs are, or for the Summer Games Fest, at the top, it's Xbox. I really liked the Xbox show. I liked what they showed. A lot I'm excited for. Below that, I'd probably put Nintendo. The announcements are good. The presentation wasn't, but there were still good announcements. Then below that, I'd probably put the Summer Games Fest show itself. No, God of War Laufey does a lot of the heavy lifting, but maybe just because of that one thing in Wolverine, I'd put Sony. And then Summer Games Fest. With that being said, it was still kind of the best Summer Games Fest itself that we've had in a while. I liked that all the Summer Games Fest shows this week were all in the span of a single week. For the last few years, they've been stretched out over the course of a month. Microsoft and Summer Games Fest does their show. A week later, Sony does their show. A week later, Nintendo does their show. I like that they were all within like 2 days of each other. That's really nice. I hope that continues through the next coming years. And yeah, overall, I'd say it was an okay Summer Games Fest. Yeah, I've definitely had worse times. Last year, I would say, was definitely worse. They did okay this year. And overall, I'm happy. There's a lot of stuff to be excited for. Most of it comes out in September. But hey, there'll be some other stuff. And, and nobody even talked about GTA, which is, the biggest game of the year that's going to end up losing the Game of the Year award. Just you watch. I kind of hope it loses it just out of principle. Because you know the gamer chuds are gonna lose their fucking minds. And that's funny. That's funny. You know, I hope GTA 6 loses Game of the Year in the same way I hope the Knicks. I'm glad the Knicks won the NBA Finals. Not out of love, but out of spite. And sometimes seeing the world burn down is funny. God, look at me sounding like Jax here. Ugh. But no, it was a good Summer Games Fest. I'm happy with it. Alright, let's talk about some WIBE shit, shall we? So I mostly got food things to talk about, because we have not talked about food things in like 3 weeks. And so we got a lot of shit to talk about. I got like 4 different things. We'll go through all 4 of them. I got 1 video game. I started a TV show, so I do want to talk about that. And then I should burn less violently. Yeah, I see that. I get that. And then the new season 3 of My Adventures with Superman came out today. And I do want to talk about that season 3 premiere as well. So yeah, I guess let's just get into it. You know, I'll try to speedrun some of this shit. So our first food thing is Whataburger. Whataburger, like 2 weeks ago now, released a hot honey chicken sandwich. It has a potato bun, obviously a chicken fillet, a red pepper cheese spread. I don't think it's pimento, but it's something like that. And then a hot honey chili crisp sauce. It's okay. I understand hot honey is a fad, and it kind of seems like a fad that's dying at the moment. And I don't entirely blame it, because some places are better than others. I will say I think Whataburger's hot honey is better than some of the others I've had, but it didn't like blow me away or anything. I wasn't like super impressed, but I'm glad I tried it. Yeah, it was fine. It was a fine thing. I don't think I'd get it again anytime soon, but I wanted to try it. Next up is Burger King. They brought back their Crown Nuggets. So if you know anything about nugget theory, there's this idea that nuggets that come in different shapes are better nuggets. This is why dinosaur nuggets are held in such high regard, that because they're a different shape, you know, dinosaur shaped, people just like them more. There's no real science behind it, it's just it's a popular theory. And yeah, Crown Nuggets, I had not had Burger King nuggets in a long time. And people seem to be up on Burger King. I've seen a lot of posts in the past few days about how like good the Whopper is. That all of a sudden Burger King has like fixed their Whopper and it's now one of the best fast food burgers. I wouldn't go that far, but having the Crown Nuggets again, yeah, they were fine. They tasted fine. Burger King has the sweet and sour sauce. I like it. It's not as good as like the McDonald's sweet and sour, but it's still good. They do have a new God, that boss fight went quick. Holy shit. It's like I blinked and it was over. Oh my gosh. They have a loaded jalapeno Whopper. So it's a Whopper with jalapenos, crispy onions and jalapenos, and then a creamy jalapeno sauce. Oh yeah, Plague Knight's OP. Oh my gosh, he is. Creamy jalapeno Whopper, it's decent. It was a decent Whopper. I feel like every restaurant right now is doing something with jalapenos. Jack in the Box, Taco Bell. I know there was another one. Jalapenos are kind of cheap spice. Like, they're not too spicy that the general public will do it. Oh, I forgot I had to do this. But, you know, they're fine. And yeah, honestly, of the 2 burgers I had this week, I had this one last week, but of the 2 burgers I've had, this was the better one. They had an orange Dreamsicle King Freeze. So this is an orange freeze. It's got a orange cold foam, and then it's got these orange crunchy crumbles, whatever the fuck that is. Honestly, pretty good. I mean, I'm a big fan of like High C Orange, and I'm pretty sure they use High C Orange to make this. So as a result, it tastes pretty good. Honestly, if you're one of those people who are convinced by TikTok to go try the new Whopper, it might be worth it to get one of these. I really enjoyed it. And then the final thing is for America's 250th anniversary, they have a firecracker cookie pie. So it's got a cookie, like a sugar cookie crust, and then it just says a soft, velvety, creamy layer. Whatever the fuck that is, I have no idea. Is it supposed to be a cookie cream? I don't know. It doesn't taste like an Oreo. But yeah, they just call it a soft, velvety, creamy layer. And then it's got red, white, and blue sprinkles, or red and blue sprinkles. Yeah, it was fine. Dude, Plague Knight, stop being insecure about your short appearance. Absolutely body everything in a fight. Exactly. Plague Knight is so goated, and he doesn't realize that about himself. But hey, that's the point of the game. Getting over his insecurities. Yeah, firecracker cookie pie. It was okay. I don't know, I'm not really a Burger King pie kind of guy. I know McDonald's is bringing back their apple hand pie, which is cool. Because God, I used to love the apple hand pie. Next up, we got KFC. The new Supergirl movie comes out at the end of the month, and KFC won the bid to do the promotion. So they've got a Supergirl meal. You can get it with either a 3-piece nugget or a 3-piece tender or an 8-piece nugget. Comes with fries, a biscuit. They've got 3 special sauces, a Supergirl Solar Honey Mustard, Ruthie's Sweet Chili Revenge, and Lobo's Wild Ranch. They're all okay sauces. You know, the honey mustard is what you'd expect from a honey mustard. The sweet chili is what you'd expect from a sweet chili. The ranch is more like a black pepper ranch, which no fast food place really does a black pepper ranch. So that's on, I mean, maybe like a Wingstop, but outside of that, it's on the rarer side. It was okay. There's a Kryptonian cooler, which is the special drink. It's got Starry, blue raspberry syrup, and a strawberry popping boba. Compared to the McDonald's version of this, which, you know, has very similar ingredients, except they swap out the bobas for a cold foam, the McDonald's one is so much better. Oh my gosh, the McDonald's blue raspberry Sprite is way better than this. Oh my gosh. But what else would I expect from KFC? And then it comes with a mystery collectible. Who cares? The KFC thing, you know, KFC is one of those places that hit and miss. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. This time, they were kind of whatever. I've definitely had better, but I've also definitely had worse. I got the one with the nuggets. The nuggets were okay. And then the final thing, the thing I'm drinking right now. So Sonic has a red, white, and blue slush, which is blue raspberry, vanilla soft serve, and strawberries. It's one of my favorite Sonic items of all time. And it's still really fucking good. Oh my gosh. If you go down to your Sonic burger, get a red, white, and blue slush. They have done a bit of shrinkflation. It is smaller than it was before. Still tastes good. It's just, you know, if you look at the picture, it's like this bigger cup. And in actuality, at least the one I had was smaller, because it only comes in one size. But taste-wise, I think it's still fantastic. They have a tropical cream slush float, which is what I'm currently drinking right now. It's got pineapple fruit, pineapple flavor, coconut flavoring, and then vanilla soft serve ice cream. Very good. It is, there are like because it's got pineapple fruit in it, you get like the pineapple membrane, which is kind of weird. But outside of that, you know, if you're not allergic to pineapple or coconut, which I know a lot of people are, this is pretty good. And then finally, they have a tropical heat smasher. So this is a burger, pepper jack cheese, bacon, jalapeno pineapple glaze, lettuce, and mayo. This burger fucking sucked. I had this burger. It is one of the messiest burgers I've had in a while. The pineapple jalapeno glaze was just messy. Oh my gosh. It was just a mess. Like, just touching the burger, and my hand was just wet. I did not like this burger at all. the pineapple jalapeno, the pepper jack. I'm not a big fan of pepper jack cheese, and I do not think it went well on this burger. I did not like this burger at all. Admittedly, I don't like Sonic Burger's food. I think as food goes, Sonic Burger does not have good food. They have good drinks. I think Sonic Burger's drinks are fantastic. But their food ain't it, and this definitely was not it. I was not impressed with this at all. I would never get that burger again. But the drinks are pretty good. I would definitely get the drinks again. And so yeah, that's my 4 food things. You know, I'm always trying out new stuff. I like novelty, what can I say? Next up, we got Grounded. Shrinkflation was the predecessor. Yeah, oh god, and shitification also sucks. Every restaurant is worse than it used to be. COVID kind of ruined everything. So if you've not heard, Grounded is the game made by Obsidian Entertainment, the Fallout New Vegas developers. And it is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids as a survival game. It came out years ago. Currently, the sequel is in early access, but the first one is currently available on PS Plus. So if you have PlayStation services, one of the free games for June is Grounded. And having now played like 15 hours of it, I would highly recommend this game. I think this is the best survival game I have ever played. I'm having such a good time with it. It's just fun, it's creative. The Honey, I Shrunk the Kids stuff is great. There's fun levels to explore. Hey, you're getting in the way of Ego Raptor. There he is, the Ego Raptor. Okay, moving on. But yeah, I've been having so much fun with Grounded. Now, I should say, I mentioned the PlayStation thing. I am not playing this game on PlayStation. I'm actually playing it on... I bought it on Nintendo Switch, like, earlier this year. And I just happened to notice it was on PlayStation. That's just a complete coincidence thing. The Nintendo Switch version does not look good. It is not a good-looking... Compared to, like, the PlayStation and the Xbox versions, it does not look that good. It runs really well. You know, I'm playing it on Switch too, but it runs at a consistent frame rate. It's just the textures are very bad. There's a lot of pop-in. But even with that, I'm having a great time with Grounded 2. I would highly recommend Grounded 2. It's such a fun time. If you play the game, I've done the first 4 labs. There's the Hedge Lab, the Pond Lab, the Haze Lab, and the Black Ant Lab. I just finished the Black Ant Lab yesterday. And now I found out the map is double the size, because they're now sending me up to the next layer, to the 2nd floor. And so now I gotta deal with all that. But that's kind of where I ended. I created a zip line from the table to the tree. It takes me over 5 minutes to take the zip line. Oh, that was awful. But now I got the zip line upgrade, so it only takes me 2. But I'm really enjoying Grounded. And I'd highly recommend it. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm going to keep playing it. I kind of didn't play Mean of the Hollower because of it. You know, I kind of paused that game to play Grounded. But I'm having a good time. Next up, let's talk about My Adventures with Superman. So, if you've not watched the show, this is the Superman show starring Jack Quaid. You know, Frank the Cube from the new God of War game. He voices Superman, and this is a fantastic show. I would argue this is the 2nd best Superman show, right behind the animated series from the 90s. I think this is better than Smallville. I like this more than The Adventures of Superman and Lois. I think My Adventures with Superman is amazing. And so this new season's kicked off. We've got Jimmy and Kara are kind of, you know... Jimmy and Kara clearly likes Jimmy, but Jimmy is worried that he's not good enough. Because Jimmy's never dated a girl before. And so in the comics, they shouldn't be together. But in other stuff, I'm fine with them being together. They're cute together. And so they're together. They end up finding out from Lois's dad, who's now working at the Pentagon, that this Project Caladan has had its material stolen. So they go and they look into it, and they find out what's happening, that basically they were trying to clone Kryptonians So they go inside and they find this guy who is just a Kryptonian living with this weird dog thing. I have no idea who this is supposed to be from the comics. Like, I know there's Caliban, who is one of Darkseid's kids. But outside of that, I have no idea who this Project Caliban is. They're doing Reign of the Supermen this season, which is one of the classic, you know, not very good comics, but, you know, it's technically a classic. It's memorable. And they're setting up Cyborg Superman, which I'm much more interested in. But yeah, our first episode was all about this research facility. I enjoyed it. It's a very soft opening to the season, but I had a good time. Yeah. And I think that's it. I think that's all I've got this week. Yeah. I mean, there's a new Disney Channel show called Dragon Strikers, which I watched the first episode. It's good, but I think I'm going to save talking about it until I've seen the whole show. So maybe next week we'll talk more about it. But yeah, I would say we're about halfway through the game. So I say we're going to stop, you know, let me spend some of this money. We'll stop right here, and then next week we'll pick it up. But for the rest of the show, we're going to check out the Marble League. Because I'm like 4 episodes behind in the Marble League. So we got to check out all that. But yeah, I think everything's going good. I like the money-saving cloaks. What can I say? So yeah, maybe next week we'll come back and we'll check out everything else. But I think I'm going to stop there for today. Yeah, I'd say we're about halfway through. Admit it, I feel like I'm going slower. Like, I know last week we beat Shovel Knight in about 3 hours. I was kind of hoping we were going to be able to do the same thing with Plague of Shadows this week. But I'm rusty. I haven't played Plague of Shadows in like 4 years. I'm struggling a little bit more. But I think next week will be fine to finish it. Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, let me switch over and we'll check out what's going on in the Marble League. Let me switch over the stream info. Ooh. Oh, there we go. So where we left off, I know we did Half Pipe. So I think we're at Swing Wave? That sounds about right. We've got Swing Wave, Archery, Underwater Race, and then Indoor Sand Rally. They haven't done that one in a while, I think. Probably gotta turn it up.
The Swing Wave has gone by several names over the duration of
Swing Wave is great. So we're rooting for the Raspberry Racers. Yeah, have a good one. It's good to see you. It was good chatting with you, Nutty Dog. Come back next week.
I'm Greg Woods. We start off.
Or maybe on Tuesday. We're doing Minecraft on Tuesday, I think.
Going a little bit too far is Team Primary. Of course, the gist of this, 2 teams launch side by side. They'll have 2 runs in total. The goal is to get your marbles into the valley.
All right, so we're rooting for the Raspberry Racers here because our team still isn't in this season.
Speaking of history, Thunderbolts
I don't know.
Jumpers,
I'm just hoping we do well. Swing Wave is one of those ones that, like, any team can be good at it at any point.
42 to 35.
I'm sure there are some teams that are better than others, but I don't know.
Win in that one.
Is this? Oh, this is the showdown. Okay, never mind. We are rooting for Team Galactic here.
All the way down 3 they had in the 10 until it rocked backwards. The Jawbreakers could have had more.
I didn't realize we were doing a showdown.
Puts them atop the standings.
So worried about fixing the
number 3. Wisps only managing
chat stuff.
26. Wolfpack and Balls of Chaos coming up now. Very close together. We don't see a lot of.
Wow, that's a lot in the basin.
And as a result, they just fly on through that 10th.
And they literally tied.
And both put 2 in the catch basin for zeros. Limers and Minty Maniacs.
So we're coming up near the end of the Marble League this year. I mean, literally, that's happening with all sports right now, except for the World Cup. The World Cup just started.
At 0
But the
to
NBA
crept
finals were
over
last
Warhead,
night. You know,
giving
the
them
Knicks
head-to-head
won.
win.
Let's go Knicks. Knicks in
Instead,
5.
44 to 36.
Come on, Galactic, you got this. I'll
Team
finish my
Momo
thought here in
and
a
Team
second.
Galactic.
Come on.
They start
I
the mix around
believe.
the 5th trough.
Oh,
Just
okay, we got
barely
one
making it
back,
to
but we
that
got
peak.
2 up front.
Dropping
So
2 in the 10
we
for Galactic.
fucking tied.
And
Wow.
we've got a tie.
But
Momo
because we got 2 10s,
and
we get
Galactic
3rd.
both. Notch 44. We'll talk about the tie breaks as we go along.
At least I'm assuming
There's
that's how
several
tie breaks
steps to it
work.
just because of how complex this event can be.
So,
Fighting glaciers.
oh, and I think
hit
both those
their
are better than
own
us.
teammates.
No, they're not.
In that
Barely.
10 trough, but it manages to keep them there. 43
So,
to 42.
the
very
Knicks
close between
won,
them.
which, yeah, let's
Only
go
good enough
Knicks,
for
you know.
6th, however.
Put all my money on the
The
Knicks. Let's go
grand
Knicks.
totals.
Fuck.
Shining
No,
Swarm
fuck.
and the Turtle
No,
Sliders.
actually worked out really well. And then I think the NHL finals are tonight. The
To make it to
Carolina
the basin, look at how
versus the
many are
Golden Knights.
Occupying in the 9
So
spot.
that's
3
another
of
big
them for
finale.
Turtle Sliders gives them 42 and puts them into 8th. 14th on the other end. Ouch for the Shining Swarm.
So we tied for
We
3rd.
do see a couple of ties.
We
in
literally got
there
the exact
after
same score
8
as the
runs.
Rangers. Holy shit.
The way this works is they go
And
by
then the
best
Jungle Jumpers and the
single
Turtle
run
Sliders.
score. Then it goes by the best second run score. And if you're still tied after that, you have to go back to how many times a team member made it to the 10 spot. If that is
Wow.
still tied, which wouldn't surprise me, we would go back to how many 9s they had. Primary and the Rangers switch sides.
That's
and
wild
come
that we
down
literally
again
got
for
the
their
exact
second
same
run,
score.
And this
Now,
time,
that's
Primary
crazy.
and O-Rangers
That's
both get 3 in the 10.
That's
but
fucking.
O-Rangers
And neither of those,
lose
because that's
2
6 and that's 7 and 2 zeros.
and turn
Wow.
an incredible
Neither of those were
result
better than us.
into just a 30. Still keeps them in second place right now because, again, we're only counting the best run of the 2. Thunderbolts, Jungle Jumpers mixing it up early. Jungle Jumpers lost 1 off the screen to the left, back in 6. 2 apiece in the 10s. And Thunderbolts move to the top spot, 45
Now that
to
is better.
44. Jungle Jumpers puts them in the provisional 3rd.
Provisional keyword. Come on, we can
Jawbreakers
do
and
better than
Midnight
44
Wisps.
next time. I believe.
Jawbreakers sitting in 3rd in the standings. Midnight Wisps all the way down in 13th. Both of them lose 1. They're dead even in the 10, 9,
But it goes to
and
the
the
Wisps.
7. The
Yep.
difference is that marble over in the 4. Wisps get 32. They win the head-to-head in this
Oh
one.
my gosh, this
But it
you
has
know,
not
I love this.
improved
I
either
love
of
the
their
Sonic
positions. Jawbreakers
like
still
freezes
sitting
and whatnot.
in 2nd.
But oh my god, my brain
Balls
freeze
of
with them
Chaos
is
in the
so
Wolfpack.
fucking bad.
Wolfpack currently
And because you
3
know I've had
points
to been focused on playing and can
Our
only
leaders, the
occasionally take
Turtle
a sip.
Sliders, and somebody lost
It
the
hasn't been
marble
that
really
bad.
early.
But now that we're here, it's like
Yeah, that was Balls of
fuck my
Chaos.
head.
2. How did they?
God, it
drop
hurts
1
so
in the 2?
bad.
Well, 43 puts the Wolfpack into 9th.
God, it hurts so bad.
Working our way through these runs. Not too many more positions left to shift.
Yeah,
Minty
I didn't always
Maniacs
get
and
like
the
I feel like
Liners,
as a
they were
kid
slow
I didn't
coming
really
over
get
those
brain
first
freeze.
few. They
But
recovered
now here in my
nicely. Minty
20s,
Maniacs, 2 in the 10.
it hurts so much.
Limers dropped 1 there, and it's 43 to 35. Minty Maniacs take 3rd.
Another thing we'll have to talk about next week.
Minty Maniacs in 8th in the
Fallout.
standings.
So
Yet
if you
to
know,
medal.
Fallout
Could
has
today be the day.
been partnering
Team
with Jones
Galactic
Soda
and Momo.
and
Momo's
Costco to
lost
put out
1.
sodas.
Oh, just barely for
Ah,
Galactic.
fuck, we lost.
Creeping over into that orange.
Yeah,
They can only manage
Yeah, that was not-
35 compared to Momo's 42.
Getting 1 over
Puts
and
Momo
2 and
into
8,
4th,
yeah.
Galactic 6th.
yeah. So Jones Soda and Fallout have been teaming up for a long time now, but they've also been teaming up with
Couple of
Costco to
runs
put out
left.
stuff.
Rojo Rollers
You know, they
and
put out
Gliding
a pack
Glaciers.
with Quantum and
Glaciers
the other
also
2.
Yet 2 medals.
There was a pack with Quantum,
Roll Rollers.
Sunset Sarsaparilla,
1 in the catch basin
and
at
what
the
was the
end.
3rd one?
You go back to the very first time that this event
I think it was
held
great.
back in Hubalino tournament.
And
it
then
was the
recently,
Ruby Rollers.
they put out a
Ended up
pack that
taking
was
the
just
win
a 12
in
pack of
that one.
Sarsaparilla.
Raspberry
Sunset
Racers
Sarsaparilla.
have never won
And
it.
now,
Gliding
just
Glaciers
this
did
week when I
in
went
the
to Costco
qualifiers
earlier,
back in 2023.
they have a new 12 pack, which is
Turtle
Nuka
Sliders
Cherry, Nuka
and the
Orange,
Shining
and Nuka
Swarm.
Victory.
Swarm
And so
won
I
it
picked
back
that
in
up. I haven't
2022.
tried, I
That
haven't
was a
even
gold
opened it
medal
out
in
of the
Marble
package.
League. They're not going to do it this time.
But I have
in
them
this
all.
Run.
And I have all my bottle caps right here.
3 10s for the Turtle Sliders, and they're in the top 5. Shining Swarm finished down in 14th. And the Thunderbolts emerge.
We ended up in
victorious. You see the
7th.
numbers
God.
below some of the scores.
There were
That's
just,
the
look how
tiebreak.
many
That's
got
how they have done it.
44.
And wow,
That was wild.
Jawbreakers
It's just
also
our
up
second
there.
run was
3
not
medals
great.
in the last 4
That's what killed
events.
us.
Thunderbolts on
Yeah, we fell down a
quite
slot.
a gold medal drought. Obviously, this is not a gold medal in the Marble League, but the fans still happy to get something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy we got a
see
silver.
An orange down there in the bottom, Balls of Chaos. They cannot win the showdown. They become the first team to be eliminated. Well, even if
I
they're
finished
out,
that entire
they can
slush
still
over
be
the
in
entire
your
over the last like
collector
2.5
set.
hours.
Order it on the merch
I did
website
really
and
speed run
check
it.
it out.
I did the second
All
half of the
teams,
show
all
in
the other
like
ways to
20
race.
minutes. I really
Here
speed
are the
ran the
standings
second
for
half.
the Marble League
I just
proper.
I felt like it
On
was a good
to
place to
event
stop.
Number 11.
I know I could have
See
talked
how
more about
quickly
Dragon
we
Strikers
have
and
blown
Grounded if
through
I
this
really
Marble
wanted
League.
to.
Raspberry
But I was
Racers
getting to the point where I was like,
holding
yeah, I
up
feel like
top.
this is a good place to stop.
Pinkies, Hazers.
All right, now we're rooting for the
first to
Raspberry
go
Racers.
After they've watched the showdown, and the Hazers have a disastrous run. One finishing marble.
God,
That's
that's
a 7-point
bad.
total.
That's the worst I've seen in a while.
Don't remember the last time we have ever seen anything quite like that. Chocolatiers and the Snowballs. Snowballs put 3 in the 10. Notches them
Yeah,
up
that's really
47.
impressive from
Now
the
that
Snowballs.
ties
Now,
the
I do
Marble
not.
League
It's been a
record
while.
held
Has
by
the
the
swing
Turtle
wave
Sliders from the
always been
showdown back in
5?
2023.
For some reason, there was a part of me that thought the
Back then
swing
it was
wave
known
was
as the
4.
Legion March Wave.
And that now, because
got
of the new changes this
47
year, the
out
swing
of
wave is
50.
5. That might not be true. That it
Next
might have
run
always
here
been
between
5.
Cobalts and Indigo Stars. The latter gets the win.
But I
head-to-head.
genuinely
It's a
don't
44,
remember.
putting the Stars into second place. Green Ducks and Savage Speeders. Green Ducks almost leaping over those first couple of waves. One of them not able to arrest the momentum. Speeders put 2 in the 9, 1 in the 10, come out with a 43. Good enough for third so far. Oceanics and the Blackjacks. Their first run. Some of the marbles will choose to mix it up when they launch.
3 in the
Obviously,
9s.
they start side by side.
But
And
that's
others
still
prefer
not enough
to
because of
stay
that.
on their side
Because
of
they got
the
one,
waves.
one over. Really does kill a
In
lot
that
of
one, 40
momentum.
to 37. Solar Flares and Raspberry Racers, what strategy do they employ? They stay pretty tidy
Oh, okay. So
through
I'm
the
looking
first
up to
few
see if
waves,
the
and
changes.
then mix it up.
The reason
3
the
in
sand
8
rally
for
was
Solar
endorsed this
Flares.
year
That
is because of
consistency
prolonged rain.
gives them the head-to-head
It would
win.
have been outside, but because
7
of rain,
overall.
they had to move it indoors.
Mellow Yellow and the Bumblebees in this first of 2 runs for each team. We're going to go through every team doing it once and then restart the order. Oh, that was very close to having 5 in the 10.
A combination of rules from the 2021
Instead,
2023.
it is 2
Two teams of 5
per
marbles will each
team.
send down the wave. Scores
That's
many
where it
points without
stays.
falling into the red tray.
Crazy Cat's Eyes and Team Plasma.
Each heat has
Now
2
in the
runs. The
final
teams will take the
run
best single
of
score
the first set.
of the
Plasma,
run.
they've lost a couple of marbles really early. This should be an easy win head-to-head, but it is not because of those early losses.
And all the tiebreakers.
Well, Snowballs
Yeah,
have
we
the
did
lead
not.
for now. 47
Ugh.
tied the Marble League record.
We got a second,
Will
though,
anybody
but still,
be
that's...
able to beat that?
God, we got to
Also
do
the
better.
only
We got to
team
get
to
in...
get 3
It's
10s.
crazy.
Bumblebees did 2.
It's crazy how in the showdown
teams
everyone
did
was
as well.
getting the 44.
As always, a
Here
big
only
shout out to
one,
our
te-
YouTube
like
members.
2 teams
We've
got
made it to
44 or better.
Event number 11. That's in part because their support has allowed us to get this deep into the Marble Run. Whatever tier you have chosen, we thank you wholeheartedly. The Pinkies do especially because they are hosts and they love that people are watching. And shout out to the Pinkies, by the way. They have been great hosts so far. The
It was
food
raining
in the
yesterday,
stadium
and
has
I was
been
hoping, like, oh, that
fantastic.
helped. It didn't.
46 for the Hazers, puts them 1 off of tying the Marble League record, and that moves them up into second place. The Pinkies, they do not better their first run, which was a 41, so they stay where they are. Snowballs and the Chocolatiers. Pinkies, by the way, unofficially the #1 seed going into this event. Snowballs.
Are they? Yeah.
maybe lost all of their energy on that first run.
I
They
guess
go from
so.
47
That
to a
makes sense.
24. Solid for the Chocolatiers, moving them up into 7th. That betters their first run total of 24 as well. Indigo Stars and the Cobalts. The Stars have been running away with this championship for a while now. And then all of a sudden, Raspberry Racers have shown up and taken the lead by 2 points coming into event number 11. 45 is a respectable total. Puts them into 3rd place. Provisional bronze medal. Cobalts still in the top 5. They're going to be happy with that too. Good consistency for the Stars, going 44.
The Green
45.
Ducks, I know. I think they're
Savage
still one of
Speeders
the
and
highest
Green
teams without a
Ducks.
medal. I don't know. It's been a few
Speeders
weeks, so they
carrying a
might
lot
have
of
finally
speed.
gotten
They
one.
won, each team does. In
So I think
catch
the Green Ducks barely
They're
won
even through
that.
10
But they're
and
still
9.
fucking 15.
And it's a
Holy
1-point
shit.
win for the Green Ducks. 35.
Oh my god. Yeah, the Green Ducks are
But they
not
sit
doing
down
well
in
this year.
15th.
To be fair, I don't think they were doing well last year. But at least this year they made it into the fucking league.
Blackjacks and the Oceanics. So we're cruising through into these final few.
So getting sidetracked.
Blackjacks drop one in.
I think I'm
3
becoming a
for
water
the
bottle guy.
Oceanics.
Nothing to do with actual, like, the water bottle. More
And
to
a
do with just
44,
the
just off the
insulation.
podium.
Because the cups I normally
Couple of those
use
marbles down
do
towards
not
7,
maintain ice.
nearly made it.
Like, I've gotten ice, and by the
That's how
time I
fine
get back to my
margins
desk,
are in the
it's
marble
already
league.
melted. My hope is that
Raspberry
by
Racers and
getting
the
by
Solar
having a water
Flares.
bottle, I can at least maintain some of that coldness, at least a little
Three
bit.
bunched together, one dropped into the
we did
6.
not do well.
2 in
Ooh.
the 10 for the Raspberry
I mean,
Racers.
okay,
Gives
actually,
them a
never mind. Fuck it.
43.
That's 6. That's better.
Puts them into 6.
Still not out.
Raspberry
God, I
Racers
can't believe I
went
made
32,
44s where you showed up.
43.
Holy shit.
Solar Flares went 38-41. Both improved, but not enough. 2 runs to go. Bumblebees and Mellow Yellow come up now. It was 37-42 the first time. What will it be here? Lots of yellow mixed
Yeah,
in, and we
was
have a tie.
tied.
44
Wow.
apiece.
But that goes to the Bumblebees.
Looking at the first run versus second run, and then doing the countbacks for total number
You know,
of
you wouldn't
10s,
expect
total number of
44 to be
9s.
common.
The win goes to the
But no, it's
Bumblebees.
pretty. It seemingly is
And the
pretty common
Snowballs are
because there are at least 3
guaranteed a
teams that
medal.
have 44.
Crazy Cat's Eyes and Team Plasma now. Attacking those first few waves with a lot of gusto. And it's going to send one a bit too far. Crazy
That's a
Cat's
45. That
Eyes.
puts
they
them up to
net a
40.
45. That puts them
Still
into
not good enough
fourth.
for a
Team
medal.
Plasma can only manage 15th.
Did that
And
bump
so,
them up
in
one
the
or
end,
bump the
nobody
Green
could
Ducks
beat
down
the
one?
Marble
Oh,
League
fuck, it bumped
record.
the Ducks
And the
down.
Snowballs, 47
Oh,
points.
wow. Snowball.
Hazers came awfully close, though, with 46. Indigo Stars just beat out on a tiebreak over the Crazy Cat's Eyes with 45. Look at how close
Yeah,
it was.
it shows a little better.
All through the middle of the pack, too. Message from one of our supporters celebrating 10 years of love with new rings. Good luck to all competitors, but mostly the Linemers. Signed, Alex and Caleb. Congratulations there, too.
So yeah,
Gold
pretty
medal
good showing.
goes to the Snowballs.
It was
6th for the team.
got all those
19th
fucking 44s.
overall. The first
That's
win
blind.
in the Swing Wave, an event that really hasn't had very many repeat winners except for the Shining Swarm. That's it.
I was gonna say I don't think anybody's like
Overall,
super
the
special in this
Most
event.
medals went to Team Momo up until this
Yeah,
one. They had
that
4
makes
coming
sense.
into this round.
We're
Indigo Stars
down
take
2.
the top spot
Oh yeah,
again
we
by
were in
3
first
over
last
the
time.
resurgent
Oh shit!
Snowballs now. Raspberry
I forgot how
Racers
close
drop
this
2,
all
Mellow
is.
Yellow drops 1, Hazers up 2, Cats up 3.
Okay, next up is archery. Oh yeah, this is all about
Motion
accuracy,
steel,
isn't it?
A steady eye and smooth pinpoint accuracy. These marbles attempt to take on the ancient art of archery. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods, event 12 of the Marble League. And our demo run being done by the Quicksilvers, their only appearance back in 2017 in the Marble League. Same year as the last time we did archery.
The Quicksilvers are the most cursed team, right?
Mark of these games.
And yeah, watching this, yeah,
What's been
it
your favorite
really feels
part
like it.
so far? Put it in the comments below, and you get to see the demo run here. 4 marbles are launched. The collective score from all 4 is added together. If you knock over 2 dominoes, then the average of those 2 is your score for that round.
All right,
The Indigo Stars have come
we're
back up
right-
to the
everyone's
top of the
right
standings.
there,
They had
the top
fallen down
3.
the order. Snowballs are climbing up In the meantime, it's just 3 points from first to second and from second to third. We do also have some looming eliminations for those who will no longer be able to win the Marble League as we get into the final 4 events.
Oh,
Swax
are we
comes
getting
over
to
and
the point
chips
of
2 of those dominoes, the 7 and the 8.
not relegation, not
7.5.
auto disqualification? What the
7 on
mathematically
this one.
eliminated? That's the word I was
Goes
looking
down the
for.
near side. Good one for the captain. Every team must use their captain in the 4 marble lineup for this event. Doesn't matter where in the order they are, just has to be somewhere. 32.
That is the one
opening
with the new
score.
or with the new Nintendo Switch Sports.
Quicksilver's 31,
I did really like
0.5.
archery back in the day. I was a big fan of archery in Nintendo Wii Sports
Blackjack
Resort.
loaded.
I hope they bring
Slides
back
off
those
to the
secret
top
targets, because
side.
the secret
Just
targets
a
were just so
6
fun to
on the
find.
first one. That's
Maybe
much
it's because it was the
Hits
early
in the
days of
middle,
the internet,
9.5.
and you would see this really like
Next one just
1440p
misses.
video,
That center
not
LED
14,
domino.
144p,
8.5.
really low quality
And
video
another
of like,
center strike,
hey, there's a
9.5
secret
for
cantaloupe
spade.
if you shoot at this exact angle,
33.5 is
and
the
then just
new
trying to
P1.
recreate that. And you know,
That was
the
pretty
family
good.
computers
Unless
in
you're
a
gonna get some
different room as the
dominoes
Wii.
Knock off
Because,
that
you know,
dead center
I mean,
domino
cell
and
phones
just the dead
technically
center domino.
existed at this point,
That's
but
gonna
I
be tough to
never
beat.
have
Two
one.
9.5s, an 8.5. It does leave the door open with that 6.
I mean, like the
Beginning.
iPhone did.
Crazy Cat's Eyes decide to send their captain out first. It's Red Eye. 7.5 for the opening. 9.5 for Blue Eye coming up next. Crazy Cat's Eyes in 12th in the standings, and oh, that one gets away from him. Yellow Eye,
Yeah,
just a
that was not good.
4.5.
Nah.
This one tracing similarly, but just a bit more to center. 7 for Green Eye, and it's a 28.5, lowest of all. Crazy Cat's Eyes, just 1 silver medal in these games. Chocolatiers, they don't have any. No medals at all. They'll send Mocha for their first, and ooh, that launched off to the side from the get-go. Just a 6. Better from Chalk. Here's their captain, Bon Bon. Oh, that got out of control. Only a 4. And a 4.5. Chocolatiers were all over the place in this one.
Yeah, that's not
22.5.
great.
Lowest by
Oh, you can't see
far
the. That's the
in
one thing. Like, I like
4
the
teams that
marble,
have
but it's
gone.
definitely too big.
Chocolatiers fans
There we go, that's
very
better.
nonplussed in the stands after that one. Green Ducks coming up now, and they open with Billy, who scores an 8.
That
Green
wasn't
Ducks,
great. That's
surprisingly,
7.
down in 15th in the standings.
Has anybody
Just
gotten a
5
perfect 10
points
yet?
ahead of last place
I don't think so.
Blackjacks.
I'm not a very good
Behind
sports
the
fan.
Chocolatiers.
Like, that's if it, watching the
They are
Knicks
doing a little
this
bit
past
better.
week, because that's the only
26
reason we didn't do
puts
this
them
last
in
night, was because of the
4th
Knicks.
of
I was watching the
5.
Knicks win. But I'm not a very good sports fan.
They have just 70 points. With the leader at 128, they've got to start making some
I'm
moves.
tired.
There you see the standings. Blackjacks 33.5 to a 32 for the Bumblebees.
Yeah,
The
that's
Cats
not good for the
sitting in
Chocolatiers.
provisional bronze medal. Well, wherever your team is sitting, thank you, all of those team sponsors who are sitting with their teams, metaphorically, in support of this year's Marble League. On to the Hazers now. Murky, solid opening with a 7.5. Cloudy coming up now. Oh, goes to the wall.
Oh,
Cloudy
ooh.
is going to knock down the side most dominoes.
So, do you only get a 0 if you, like,
Was a
completely fall off?
2.5 and the lowest shot that we have seen so far. Hazers have talked before about inconsistency.
Yeah, there's no 1 or 0 on this.
They've tried to work
Maybe if you
together
just,
as a
like,
team
don't make
to
it at all, you get a
eliminate some of
0 and
that,
there's no way to get a
both on
1.
the psychological side of things and on the training side.
But that 2.5,
And it did not
that
happen
is...
there. You know the pressure of the Marble League is high. You know that just one little iota of that doubt creeping in can completely derail a run, and maybe that's what we just saw. On the flip side, Indy with a great start 9.5. Go-Go follows it up with a 9. Diego gets away to the low side, 7.5. With a strong shot here, they could challenge for the lead, and I'm not sure that'll do it. Bingo with just a 4.5. No, 30.5. Provisional bronze. Blackjacks still holding on with that 33.5. Bumblebees, 32 in second place. Cats have been displaced. Cerulean for the Cobalts. Comes through with an 8.5. Cobalts.
Yeah, here's another team that needs a lot.
Their
I mean, the
gold
Cobalts.
medal.
God, going from winners last year to now.
The Captain Royal.
God, whatever's been going on with them this year. Not
Low
good.
to center.
Not
Nepo.
good at
Last
all.
up now, that looks a lot better. 8.5. Good run for the Cobalts. Puts them into second place. 32.5. No lower than a 7.5 across their 4 shots. We're going to look back at the last time that this event was held. It was Jungle Jumpers who got the win back in 2017. Chocolatiers got the silver.
Has it really?
And the
No, I
Thunderbolts,
swear
the
we did
bronze. Our
archery
demo team
recently.
came through half a point off the podium.
I swear archery was in
Yellow Yellow was there too.
maybe like 2 years ago.
Back in
There's no way it was 2017 was the last
they wanted
time.
out of that third shot.
I know bowling's been
Much
in a
better
lot
from Yellow.
recently. But I
Actually,
swear
the last
archery
3
was...
different dominoes, it looked like.
Again, not
Only
last
counting
year,
the
but like
two
the
that
year
fell over
before or
30.5
something.
puts Mellow Yellow
I've definitely
into a
seen
strong
archery
fourth place.
before. Like recently. Recent-ish.
Oceanics, who finished dead last back in 2017. They'll send out Siren first.
Maybe it was called something. Maybe they just
6.
did like the same idea,
Lower than what
but it
they
wasn't
intended.
archery. It was like called something else.
Better for near.
I could see that. They do
7.5.
that from time to time. I mean, bocce was called stone toss this year.
Ounce, very strong, 9.5. Final shot is a 7. 30 overall puts the Oceanics into 6th. After 10, we've got a tie for 4th.
Wow. God, you know, you think with like all the precisions and all the half points, getting a tie would be harder than that.
9.5
Just
for each,
ain't.
9 for each. I think we are all tied through all 4 marbles. While we sort that out, shout out to the YouTube tier members, VIP seats, attendant and ticket, and the Friends of Yella tier. So many names on there. Add your own. And if you want to support us in a different way, maybe some way that you can actually hold and play with in your own home, check out all of the collector series of the different teams, plus the Skyway Chase and the Hyperloop. Here are the hosts, the Pinkies.
I mean, yeah,
6th
go
place
check them
back
out.
in
My
2017
current
in this
model is
event.
based on it.
And overall, looking
One
pretty
of
good in the
theirs.
standings. 6th, they
I
got a
do.
gold and
I know
2
what's wrong
bronzes.
with.
And
I
right
know
there,
what's wrong
Pinky
with
Panther
it,
notches a
and I think I
9.
know how to fix it. We're already so
Rosa
far
up
through the
next.
year. I'm not even gonna bother.
That got away over to
And
a
I
5.
do. I've been thinking about that because with the current model we've been using, we've been
Dink
using
better
for
toward the
I
center,
think like a
8.5.
year now, coming up
And
on
it
it
gives them a
anyways.
29.5.
And so I
just
think it's.
7th.
I know VTubers do like their refreshes
Overall,
and
not too
whatnot,
bad.
and so I think hopefully sometime in the next
It's a lower
few
point total than what they
weeks,
got
you know, before
back
like
in
the end of
2017.
July,
Pinky
maybe.
Winky
I
got
want to
a
kind of do
10
some sort of
back
model
then. That was the
refresh.
very
I'm
first
thinking
throw
about
of
it
the run.
anyways.
Raspberry Racers sitting in
Ooh,
third
that's not a
in
good
the
start.
overall standings.
I mean, it's an 8, but
Just
it's not.
6 points off of our leaders, Indigo Star.
There was definitely a little skipping going on
Not
there.
a bad one. Here's
I'll
the
take a
Captain
9.5.
Razzie, 9.5.
That's even worse. Oh
Up
shit!
next, ooh, just 4.5.
And then come on,
Big drop. Can they recover?
8.5.
With Razzie, 8.5.
puts us
And
in
a
6th, which is
30.5.
not terrible.
Very tight midfield
There's only
in that
what, like,
middle top
is there
10
4 runs
area.
left? There's not that many left, but still.
Raspberry Racers go into 6th as we turn now to the Savage Speeders. 7th in the standings, yet to get a gold medal. Oh, and that's not going to help. Not going to help at all with a 2.5. Speedy also curves up that way. They get on the low side. This is a very inconsistent run. Last shot, Swifty. Just misses that 1-point domino on the edge for a 3.5. And the Savage Speeders, last of all. 17.
Yeah, that's not great.
Oh, the Savage Speeders fans cannot believe it. You can see the disappointment on the bench for the team. Coach Quickly, I think in a bit of shock. It's more disappointment.
I'll have to double check at the
anything,
end, but I don't think anyone's got
that makes the other team.
Everyone's hitting that 9.5.
Not sure what to do. They're not used to
because getting it
seeing
straight
that
on is
level
just
of
so
discomfort.
difficult.
With only 4 events left, they've got a lot of ground to make up. Snowballs have been putting together an okay run. 6 in the end. Lowers it a bit.
Better than us.
And still puts them into the bronze medal position. Consistency was great up until that 4th marble. Oh, what could have been.
All right, here's our penultimate.
That one 9.5. Otherwise, it was in the 8s. Anything beyond that, if you just would have gotten 2 more points, would have put them into the lead. Blaze with a nice 9 for the Solar Flares after a 5.5.
There's another 9.5.
9.5. We've yet to see a perfect 10.
Yeah, I was like, I knew we hadn't seen a perfect 10 yet.
Gets away from Ember up
good.
top.
I'm great to confirm it.
That'll move the Solar Flares just to the edge of the top 10.
You wouldn't think a perfect 10 would be like in real archery in the Olympics. A perfect 10's pretty common.
Left. That means both the
Blackjacks but I mean, those
and
are
the Kobolds
some of the best athletes in the world. But these are some of the best marble athletes in the world.
Blackjacks no worse than a silver. Glumo launches first for Team Plasma. That shot, 6.5.
That's an 8.5.
Next one, 8.5. Team Plasma, just 1 bronze medal to their name. They're in 11th in the standings. That doesn't help. Firo with the captain's shot.
No, that does not.
At 5.5. Last one.
Another 8.5.
Fanto 8.5, but it's not going to be enough. Our podium does not change. And that means the Blackjacks have 1 gold in archery. They are the day's sharpshooters. Now, in the meantime, we do have a tie. And you can see that the officials are deciding what to do, and we're going to go to a tie break here.
I like a tiebreaker shot.
Both teams are actually pulling their reserves into the order.
Yeah, that's a good tiebreaker.
A tie break.
Now they need
8.5.
Now they need a tiebreaker for their tiebreaker.
Yellum, who was not originally in the lineup, just like Indigo. That's going to be a hard to beat 9.5. What can Montoya do?
Not enough.
6.
No, that's a good tiebreaker. It's just funny because that you'd never expect that to happen.
Win it head-to-head.
And then they'll
take 5th over
God,
the
was this a
Indigo
hockey
Stars.
going into like a 6th overtime? Hockey.
Well, that is important in the standings. Mellow Yellow were 4th in the overall, 114 to 128. And by going 1 spot above the Indigo Stars, it does
nobody
bring
did
down
a perfect 10.
That championship lead.
Wow. This shows you how hard it is.
On the board, shout out to my amazing girlfriend Cassidy, who's always been there for me, and go Thunderbolts. May this be the year you all surge to become league champions, XX and YY. Well, Blackjacks go from last.
I mean, the Cobalts really needed
on
that.
The day at least.
They have not, going from last year to this year, they have not been having a year. And there's really not enough time for them to catch up.
Of these games,
but that'll help them out a little bit.
In archery, of course, it was only held 1 other time. But how about this? 65 points is all they've had. For the entirety of these games, they earn a lot of that today.
Look at those
and it
green
moves
ducks.
them 4 spots up to 12.
We stayed exactly the same.
The Snowballs, in the meantime, have overtaken the Indigo Stars and now lead by 2.
Yeah.
Green Ducks have
It's
fallen
still all
to last.
10
Cobalts
points
also
up here.
4. They're into the top 10. 3rd down
And nobody's
through
been
6th
mathematically
stays the
eliminated
same
yet.
With the underwater
But
race looming.
within these next 2 events, there's no way it lasts.
One of the more challenging events in the Marble League, the underwater race, sees a unique combination of swimming, racing, and
they do really struggle with the water.
Hey everybody,
like the triathlon.
Noxious Ivy, Strixes, Constrictors, and the Golden Orbs will show us how it's done.
Come on, Golden Orbs.
A shallow dive into the water seesaws you backward, and then you begin to pick your lane. Outside versus inside, there are
you always want to go for the
each,
inside,
depending on where you are. The deeper you go, the more you feel.
And there you go.
Do not underestimate the draft.
It's a short race,
to the line. Watch
but it's a hard
the
one.
Constrictors took. They ease their way back in, then come back to the right, following the Golden Orbs. That did help them to catch up, and that could be a deciding factor in the races ahead.
But yeah, you always want to take the short lines. You know, there's no item boxes, so you don't got to worry about that. It's always worth taking the short
Indigo
lines.
Stars, both of them have 5
Yeah,
medals.
it's a short race, but it's a hard one.
Racers are close behind. Same with Mellow Yellow.
Yeah, like I was saying, triathlon.
Hazers, and then the
really, the underwater part of triathlon, always, because that's always how it ends, and it can be a massive deciding factor.
Of the actual Marble League competition
depends on the leads. Like if they're all close together, not so much.
Place, then it's the Green Ducks and the Pinkies. They split.
Yeah.
Savage Speeders gain, but now Hazers lock it down. Green Ducks will follow them across.
I thought the
line,
Savage Speeders had that taken around that second corner, but no, they just fell back. Okay, and top 2 teams advance.
12-8-4, 13-05, 5/100ths between Green Ducks and the Pinkies. That was
Savage Speeders may be a fast team, but when it comes to the water
and transferring,
sometimes they do great.
Cobalts,
but not always.
Blackjacks and the Snowballs.
And I know one of the water teams is good at the water. I think it's the Oceanics.
Snowballs move to the front. They've got several lengths lead, but here come the Blackjacks. No, now it's Crazy Cat's Eyes.
Because one of the water teams is good at the water, the other one isn't.
Not a wire to
and then the
wire
turtle
win,
sliders are just
but
awful
a pretty solid
all around.
one for Snowy, the captain of the team. Blackjacks and Cobalts, they go no further.
Same thing with the like ice events. I want to say the Snowballs are good,
Oceanics,
the Gliding Glaciers are bad.
Chocolatiers, Bumblebees,
But
and
I might
Team
have that
Plasma
backwards.
in the gate. They quiver before they are released. Down they come. They're nearly all side by side. There's Bumble for the Bumblebees, going from first back to third. Chalk from the Chocolatiers is up there. Watch the Oceanics on the outside. It's going to be a run down to the line.
I think it's
Who
the
got
Bumblebees
that
and the
one?
Chocolatiers.
Oceanics Chocolatiers. It is Chocolatiers.
No, it is the Oceanics. Okay.
13-4-7, 3/100ths between them and the Oceanics. Both
Yeah, that was
on.
really close.
Bumble and Ecto, they are done.
All right, here we are,
Mellow Yellow,
Resi.
Solar Flares, Indigo Stars, and Raspberry Racers from far to near. Raspberry Racers making quick work of that ramp, but somehow find themselves back in third. Solar Flares have the lead right now. Indigo Stars, now they've moved back to third, now to second. Solar Flares, it's going to be
That's
3 wide across the
so
line.
fucking close. I don't think we have
got
it,
a photo finish on this one,
but
too.
that was all right
Solar
there.
Flares, Indigo Stars, Raspberry Racers go all the way to the wall.
Nope.
Well, the Solar Flares definitely did win
Oh,
it,
they're giving us a
but
tie.
13-16, that's the closest we can get because of both the optics in the water
Wow.
and the timing and scoring system.
I have not
There's
seen
no
a
way to
tie in a
differentiate
long
between
time.
Those two 13-16s.
Come on, Resi.
So we go to a
It's the Indigo fucking Stars.
Indy,
You got
the captain
this.
of Indigo Stars, Resi for the Raspberry Racers. Indigo Stars have the lead right now. Raspberry Racers trying to catch the draft, and now they go to the opposite
You got this
side.
at the end.
That loses them time.
No.
And they're not
The
gonna be able to
Indigo
make it
Stars
up.
took
Indigo
such a
Stars
tight
will
line at
advance.
the end there. No, we didn't have it. But
A
I
slower
cannot believe we
run than what they
tied.
just
That was
did.
a good fight.
But you didn't need to go faster when it's head-to-head and you've got a multi-length win. 13-7-5 to 14-2-9. Well, that takes care of all of our initial opening round matches.
Yeah,
Pinkies
after this
just miss
stream's
out
done, it's
on
on to
transferring.
Trump's
They
fucking
finish
UFC
in
match
ninth, the best of
on
the
his
rest.
birthday. His
Down to the
special
Cobalts in
big
16th.
his special big
As we're getting
boy
down toward the end
birthday
of the Marble League,
UFC
maybe
match.
you don't want the competition to end.
Fucking
Go to
Christ.
yellowsmarbleruns.com, check out all of the merch, and you can bring your own teams home and race them all you want. Also, big shout out to our team sponsors. You've gotten your teams to the line They've done the rest, but they wouldn't be here without you. Green Ducks, Solar Flares, Snowballs, and Oceanics in the first semifinal. Solar Flares with the lead. Oceanics very close behind. Snowballs within striking distance. Oceanics make a move exactly where they did last time, and the result is nearly the same. I'm not sure if they got the win, but they will be moving on along with the Solar Flares. Another photo finish, and by 100th of a second, the Oceanics
God, that was
are
so
on
close.
to the final.
God, they've been running a lot of tight runs
Momentum
today.
on the side of the Oceanics in a water event. That's not that unusual at all. Hazers, Crazy Cat's Eyes, Indigo Stars, and the Chocolatiers. Down into the water they go. Who emerges at the front? It was the Hazers, but now it's Crazy Cat's Eyes. Hazers right alongside of them. Now they take the lead. Great move
Yeah,
through
the
the
Hazers
final
were just
turn.
so out front there.
Hazers will win it. Crazy Cat's Eyes are also on to the final. Indigo Stars come third, and Chocolatiers in fourth. Fifth through eighth is set. Two captains in that mix. Green Ducks get a nice result in fifth. Snowballs, they come in after leading the Marble League with 5 medals. They don't get another one here. As always, big shout out to our YouTube members. If you're not familiar with this program, check it out. It's a different way for you to support the channel in whatever tier works for you. That's the main thing. You get the VIP seat, the attendant and ticket, and the Friends of
All right,
Yellow.
here we go.
To decide the medal, it's Oceanics, Solar Flares, Hazers, and the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Solar Flares get moved to the back. Hazers once again take the lead as they've done in most of these. Same move that we saw from Crazy Cat's Eyes last
Yeah,
time.
the
they take
Hazers
lead.
have just
Here
been
go the Hazers
on
to the
top of
inside.
it.
They make the turn on the run down to the line. Hazers will
I'm
get
surprised
gold
the
in
Oceanics
underwater
didn't do better.
race.
It seems like they were doing
Crazy
good in all the
Cat's
others,
Eyes
but
come second
nope.
and get the silver, and Solar Flares get the bronze. Oceanics are shut out of the medals.
Does this... I mean, this definitely extends the lead, but I don't think it hurts us too much.
Hazers went quickest in their opening heat, but a 13-16, pretty good. That gives them a gold medal and 25 points for a team sitting in 5th in the standings. That's their second gold medal of these games. Crazy Cat's Eyes down in 14th. STS Blue says, go, go, Momo. Succinct and to the point. Solar Flares also, they're down in 11th, by the way. They've got a gold and a silver in these games. Now they add in a bronze. It is the 10th gold for the team. They're 25th overall, and how about that for Smoggy? First gold medal for that marble. Congratulations. Savor it. And timing could not be better. With just a couple of events left to go in these Marble League games.
We
What does
lost
this do
by
to the
one.
standings?
Because, yeah,
Snowballs
the
stay at
Hazers.
top.
But other than
Indigo
that...
Stars are there.
Okay, their lead is
come up
growing,
two.
but I still think it's fine.
Racers in 4th.
I still think
Then
it's fine.
Mellow
We got
Yellow.
one more event.
Coming up next, the Sand Rally.
And we got a showdown. We got another showdown. We get to root for some Galactic.
The history of the Marble League and Yellow's marble runs writ large are inextricably linked with the Sand Rally.
Yeah, usually the Sand Rally is like either the last or the second to last event.
Outside of Rosaka. Instead,
But because they're doing it
inclement
indoors.
weather, specifically severe rain, has forced organizers to scramble and bring this event
I feel like not putting it
indoors,
at the end
and
because
what
it's indoors
course they have set up for
is
us
what
today.
feels like, yeah,
Take
this is a
look.
good spot to put
This
it.
is not a test run. This
Come
is a
on.
showdown.
Look how far
Top
off
4
ahead we
advance
are.
out of these heats. And right now,
Oh
it's Team
my
Galactic
gosh,
with a
just
healthy
keep going.
lead. Minty Maniacs close right up on them.
Fuck
Those two will
yeah.
advance. Rojo Rollers and Jungle Jumpers
That's such a
also
great start.
get through.
I hope they don't burn too much, but that's such a good start to this thing.
This is similar to the Moguls course that we have seen before, this sand maze.
So
or
top
the
half
indoor
of it.
sand rally. Overall,
start.
the sand events in
What
the
a
history of the Marble
start.
League have been run many, many times in various formats as well, both with natural sand and kinetic sand, like we see here. Next heat is off, where that opening hill really makes you launch over it and try to get going. Mind those little trees that are in the mix too. Good battle that we have. Balls of Chaos giving chase right now, but there's not a lot of time for them to catch Midnight Wisps. Primary get third, and Gliding Glaciers get fourth. No captains in the field this time. We had 2 in the opening heat. And this moves us on to the final. The eliminated teams will be classified by time. It goes
quick.
Similar to what we will see in the Marble League proper, which will get going a short time from now. Wolfpack get 9th. Turtle Sliders on down through Team Momo in 16th. Want to give a shout out to our team sponsors, both in the main Marble League and just in general for this channel. Everything that you do for the Showdown teams, for the Marble League qualified teams, helps us to put on this 10th anniversary special. All right, in the final, there are your 8. Down they come. Minty Maniacs sweep around the outside to take the lead over Galactic, who has to fend off the Midnight Wisp. Balls of Chaos
we're
are back
right
there, but now they're
this is like
positions.
The place you don't want to be in Mario Kart.
They're trying to draft the Minty Maniacs, who say,
and we just
so
couldn't
fast.
make it.
Minty Maniacs will hold on.
If we could have taken the lead earlier on, we would have been able to hold it. But
oh, look at that. Rojo Rollers. No. They're stuck right off the bat.
Yeah,
they
right there when the Minty
Maniacs
Maniacs take it for us.
Jumpers there, as
I mean,
I
would have liked at least third, but...
Ambition.
Is this one of the? Is this the last showdown?
But the hill says nope, not going to let
you. There
you.
might be one more.
In that case, Rojo Rollers were.
But yeah, if I've learned anything from Mario Kart over the years, being in second can be the worst spot to be in.
A quick peek over the shoulder at Iceberg, a few lengths between them, and that is your finishing order. Eve from the Midnight Wisps comes across in third.
Close. Listen,
Starry for Team
Galactic. Oh, I didn't even realize they didn't
very
finish.
Strong in that opening heat.
I think. The one worry, listen,
quicker.
When it comes to the showdown, it doesn't matter who's winning the showdown. What matters is you're not last, because then you get relegated, and there's nothing worse than that.
There you see the difference in the time.
Because as far as I know, relegation's still around.
That are being awarded.
They got rid of it like 2 years ago, and then they immediately brought it back.
Its end. So if you are farther back in the pack, you've got to start to make some moves sooner rather than later. What does this do to the standings? It's Turtle Sliders still holding on, but only by a point.
No longer podium.
And it's now over the Minty Maniacs. Wolfpack
and the top
third,
2 are safe. Top 3 are safe from relegation.
5.
So we're kind of right in there.
Down 3.
Oof. If we do well in the final event, we'll be fine.
Falling down, maybe not
but
the order,
we just cannot be bottom 4. I think we're good
Hyperloop
though.
And the Skyway Chase. Your full selection of teams.
I mean, we'd have to completely fucking blow up in the next event.
And so, after
which,
that
to be fair,
showdown,
it's happened before.
Great look at the track. We are now ready to begin event 14 of 16 in the Marble League.
Yeah, and then next week will be the final 2 events.
Snowballs have the
wow,
lead.
It's all come so
Hazers
quick.
And Raspberry Racers close behind. 4 captains in the field this time for Heat A in the Sand Rally. Off they go, and we avoid an early DNF like we saw the first time. Indigo Stars have the lead. Red Eye shadowing behind, but look to the bottom side. That's Club from the Blackjacks. Club will win it. Crazy Cat's Eyes takes second. Third for Indigo Stars, and Cobalts came up.
Badge?
To
Sarah Speeders, I mean, I don't think they're... I know they're low down. I just don't know how low.
Who was eliminated in that
But this
round.
has not been
our championship leaders. The Snowballs finish in last. Then you have Mellow Yellow. They're in 5th in the standings right now. Savage Speeders, they're in 7th. Yes, Green Ducks are a little bit farther down, but wow, some big names eliminated here in Heat A, the first outing of this event.
Come on. Got this.
Solar Flares take the lead in this one.
Listen, you got to get top 4, but save some of your energy for the final.
Looking good. They're shadowing each other. Now it's a 3-marble race along with the Pinkies.
Fuck.
They're all going to transfer. Final spot goes to the Oceanics.
That sucks. We were so close.
That time. Raspberry Racers come in 5th. Chocolatiers, Plasma, and the Hazers round out Group B. 13:05. That is slower than what we saw the time set by Club and really all of the top 3 in Heat A.
I mean, we're the top of it, but that's still...
is set. Raspberry Racers in 4th.
I mean, the Hazers are gone, the Snowballs are gone. Those are 2 teams ahead of us.
They are in last behind
the only one we got to worry
championship
about is the Indigo
leader
Stars,
Snowballs.
which if they get 8th, that's
Lots
not going
of
to be much change at all.
surprises still to come,
But we're definitely
and an
falling.
opportunity for many teams to start chipping away at some of those points leads. Well, there may have been some tears early on for the eliminated teams, but thank you to everybody, whatever your tier is, for your support. Is there something special about winning a Sand Rally event in the 10th anniversary of the Marble League? Down they go to award gold here in Event 14. Hive leads it and is trying to stretch it.
Yeah, the Blackjacks
Pinkies
have
with
been
Pinky Toe, also
pushing
a
it up.
captain,
And
gets eclipsed now
that's
by
the
the Cobalts.
Cobalts. And
Bumblebees.
oh, those were the
will be
Bumble.
unchallenged.
I
and
thought
will
those were the
set
Blackjacks.
podium
I didn't see the
abuzz.
yellow on them.
Black and gold.
Wow.
Take gold in the indoor Sand Rally.
Okay, maybe I'm.
Hive led them from the start.
Maybe I'm a little
Look at
less
that battle
worried.
for second place. 4 marbles all trying to move down onto that pinch point where
I mean,
the
I'm
track
still a
comes
little
back
worried,
together.
obviously, but
Pinky Toe thought maybe right
not
there
as worried as I
they
was a
could make
moment
the
ago.
move, but instead that acceleration from Hive blew them away. Royal
Yeah, they
slots
just got
into
so
second,
far
and now
ahead.
the Pinkies have to deal with Red Eye for the crazy cat's eyes for the bronze, and Pinkies just hold on. It's a good result for the home team, a great result for the Cobalts, but an historic result for the Bumblebees. That is the first time in an individual or duo event that we've ever had a winner that used to be a former Hornets member.
really,
And the Bumblebees are partying
that
it up
merger
with
happened
that
like
bee
4
dance,
years
created
ago.
specifically for the
What do you
Bumblebees
mean
by
a
their
Hornet
sponsor,
hasn't won
Lori
since then?
Rowlandson.
Individually,
Team
obviously.
sponsor and one of their
That's
biggest supporters
crazy.
ever.
Oh my gosh.
Bumblebees
Okay,
get
you know,
the
7th
win
and 9th
25
for Indigo
points.
Stars.
Cobalts
That's
and
not
the
gonna change
Pinkies
too
get the
much.
silver and the bronze, respectively. Oh, a timely message for one of the team sponsors. I do this out of pity for the Rojo Rollers. Rojo, roll your way to victory, please. Sorry, it didn't work out this time.
And that's the Cobalt second medal.
Hive's victory is the Bumblebees' first gold medal in these games. It's the 3rd gold medal for the team overall, their 15th medal. And they have won gold before, but not in this Marble League and never with Hive. Hornets only around back in 2020.
Okay, we actually, somehow that gave
Now
us an
they're with the
up. We're
Bumblebees.
back in top 3.
Indigo Stars retake the top.
I mean,
of
we've
the
still got over
standings,
10
jumping
points
over
from the
Snowballs, who were
first.
eliminated early. Raspberry Racers.
And we've already gone. No longer can win or Green Ducks are already out. Holy shit. And then even though they just... Wow. Savage Speeders are right there. This, if it wasn't for, you know, that silver today, Cobalts would definitely be farther down. Wow. Yeah, this is all coming down to the wire, man. Holy shit. This is going to be an exciting ending next week. For sure, for sure. All right, so that's where we're going to end off. So we will be back next week. Okay, there's 2 things coming up. The first big one is the new Minecraft update. The Chaos Cubed update comes out on Tuesday. And if there's a new block, if there's new blocks and whatnot, but there's probably going to be a new achievement. I'm going to guess there's going to be some sort of, maybe, it could be as simple as put a sulfur cube in a bucket. I could see it. The one I would bet it would be is ignite a TNT sulfur cube. I think that would make a lot of sense. That'd be a very logical achievement. So if there is a new achievement, we'll be back on Tuesday and we'll get whatever that achievement is. I think that makes sense. I think that's the very logical thing to do. If there isn't, because we didn't do Tiny Takeover. I know we've done no achievement videos in the past. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not super invested, but I'm thinking about it for the moment. My goal is on Tuesday, we will be back. We'll do some Minecraft and we'll be back next week. I know I'm definitely going to watch more of that Dragon Strikers. If you're not heard, Dragon Strikers is a new show by Disney. It's basically Disney's take on like a shonen anime. I've watched the first episode. It's decent. I enjoyed it. Yeah, you know, it's got those shonen tropes in it. It does in some ways remind me of My Hero Academia, but that's not a bad thing. And yeah, I liked it, and I'm gonna, there's only like 11 episodes, so I'll watch all that. So we'll definitely be back next week for that. I think Toy Story 5 is next week. That sounds right. Yeah, Toy Story 5 is coming up. And even though I've never seen Toy Story 4, maybe I'll finally sit down and watch Toy Story 4 and watch Toy Story 5. I'm sure there's other stuff. But yeah, we'll be back next week with all that. And it should be a lot of fun. So that's what we're going to end off for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Till next time. Peace.